This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Slow down, stepping up my game. Tied to you, try not to sink on through the cracks. And maybe I could forget this time. And maybe
Hi, welcome to Geek and Sassy. I'm Jennifer Smith, here with my co-host, the wonderful and beautiful Miranda. Say hi, Miranda.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, baby. I'm so happy to be recording with you again. We had
I know.
a little bit of a break there.
I feel like, well, I mean, we did warn everybody, but I feel like, I don't know, for some reason, I feel like it's been so much longer than it really has been.
It has. We've done a lot of shit since then.
I think that's what it is. I really do think that's what
We've lived a whole lifetime since the last Geek and Sassy.
That's a true statement. Oh, my God. Yes.
So, what did you do in that lifetime?
Let's see. Had I gone to, no, I had not gone to Wisconsin the last time.
No, not yet.
So I went to Wisconsin for a work trip. I was there for like 4 or 5 days, I think it was. And I came home, and of course, that was my first like commercial plane ride. Cause this is going to make me sound really spoiled, but I promise, guys, I'm not. But my aunt and uncle owned, like, you know how every town has like a super tiny airport, and I mean like tiny, where they only fly like little Cessnas in and out of it. So my aunt and uncle had one of those, or had the one where I grew up at. And so they had planes. The biggest plane they had, though, would only hold like 8 people. So it's not like it was super fancy or anything. And everybody gets a window seat, if that makes sense. You're not taking a lot of cargo with you. Like, it's pretty simple. And so I'd only ever been up in planes like that. And then I've been in a helicopter a couple of times. So being on a commercial airline, I was, kind of scared, to be honest, because, I mean, let's face it, all the stuff that you hear about in the news. But my biggest fear, I told Jenny, was that I was going to end up sick. And fuck, I ended up sick. Strep and flu.
Oh, God.
And I told the doctor, she's like, so when did you start feeling bad? I said, well, Wednesday I just felt tired. I said, because, I had like the plane, literally it took me like all day. Because I flew out of Panama City into Atlanta and, had like a 3-hour layover in Atlanta. And then flew to Milwaukee, immediately got off the plane in Milwaukee, and it was snowing, and then they drove me over to the hotel. And I had like 10 minutes and then dinner started. Like, it was like never ending. So I told her, I was like, I was sleepy Wednesday. I said, but midday Wednesday about lunch, when they made us break for lunch, I said, I felt really like I just started feeling really crappy. And somebody was like, well, do you think you're homesick? And I was like, no, but I just feel sick. Mm-hmm. And we had a dinner that night that we had to go to at a B&B or an Airbnb that they had rented. And there was a bunch of people they were still all hanging out and drinking and talking and stuff. And our big boss was like, hey, so I went ahead and ordered 1 Uber because I heard a few people say that they were ready to go. And so my butt jumped up and was like, there's no way I'm not getting, and I'm going back now. So they took me back to the hotel, and I was asleep by like 8:30.
Aw.
So she was like, yeah, based on when you started feeling bad, you definitely got this from the plane. And I was like,
Great.
I knew it. I knew it.
Gotta start wearing masks everywhere now.
Well, there were people in the airport wearing masks.
Hell
and
yeah.
At first I was like, what the heck is wrong with them? But then, like, now I'm like, maybe I should have done it too.
Yep.
Maybe I would have got a seat by myself that way because nobody would have sat near the lady with the mask.
It's for my protection, not yours.
Right, it is. It was for my protection, but... and so I had like 5 days to get better, and then we left for D.C., which was a 16-hour ride on a charter bus.
Good God.
Oh, my God, Gavin. Yes. The ride-up was fine, actually. It was the ride back because we did it at night, so we didn't really make any stops. So there was like no getting up and stretching your legs. So when I got up, we switched drivers around. I think it was like South Carolina on the way back. And she told, because some of the parents were awake, and she's like, if you're awake and you want to go and use the bathroom, you can, but just like be really quick if you don't mind. So like me and one other person got off because everybody else was like, screw that. I may look awake, but I'm not. Because it was like 2:33 in the morning. Like it was, yeah. And I was like, man, my feet feel weird. And so I go look, like, as I sit down, like, I'm sitting on the toilet, and I look at my feet, and I'm like, holy shit! And I just said it out loud. My feet look like they belong to a woman. And I am not, like, being mean to anyone who is very large, but my feet looked like they belonged to a woman who was at least 300 pounds. And it was just, like, from the ankle bone all the way down. Like, it was just... Because apparently, like, sitting for that long of time and, not, like, moving or stretching or...
Well, plus all the walking you guys had done in D.C.
Well,
yeah.
I thought the walking might have had something to do with it, but I guess apparently, like, sitting, that happens to people, like, on plane rides, too, if they're really long. And so I was like, but... Thankfully, it went down. It took a couple days, but it went down. So I was like, okay, so I get sick from an airplane, and then I get, like, swelling from a charter bus. Like, am I just not meant to go anywhere? Like,
you're not built for travel.
I'm not built for travel, I guess. And then, so I've been home now for like a week and a half, and we're fixed to leave again.
What's going to happen to you this time?
Well, this time better nothing happen. It's only a 6-hour drive to Nashville.
Well, we got explosive diarrhea. There's an option.
Please don't even.
I'm just saying, like, prepare yourself.
Oh, no. No.
What was your favorite part of DC?
I think my absolute favorite part was, and this is going to sound weird, so I'll kind of briefly explain. I think my favorite part was the Arlington Cemetery. And of course somebody's going to be like, really, the Arlington Cemetery? Yes, because I think as an American, regardless of your feelings on anything, you should at some point in your life experience DC and experience Arlington, because it's very somber, but it's a beautiful thing at the same time. It's very quiet. Like, they took us on a tour, like, on a tram that was full of, like, kids and people, and it didn't matter. Like, it was still super quiet. Not like an eerie, but almost like a...
Like a respectful hush, kind of.
Very interesting, and the changing the guard is a very emotional thing to watch. Like, that is... Like, I told you I thought it would bother me, and it did, but not the way I thought it would. Like, it was just overall, the whole place is emotionally overwhelming, but not in a bad way. Like, when you stand back and you listen to the stories of, this is why the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier was built, this is what, this is where some of the newer tombs are, and these are the older ones, and this is what this is, but you just see it's like a sea, and it's like waves upon waves upon waves upon waves of graves, and it's very overwhelming and it's a very humbling experience. Because you guys know, like, my husband was in the military, so there are things military-wise that not that people aren't proud, but, like, I look at in a different manner, and I get upset about quicker than other people do. But this was different. This had nothing to do with him. It was, like, overall just seeing the amount of people that died so that we can do the things that we currently do. It's just very, I don't know, calming and unnerving and overwhelming and like so many adjectives there that I don't know how to begin to describe it. I think everyone should experience. Caden was crying.
Aww.
Like, we were going through on the tram, and he just looked out, and he started crying, and one of the kids was like, what's wrong with him? And the other mom was like, because he understands what he's looking at. Like, he gets what he's looking at. And then I was crying because the man was explaining, like, and this is this. And they actually had a funeral going on, and they were doing the gun salute, and oh my God, you could hear it, like, from where we were at, and I just jumped, like, every time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was, oh my God. So, mine was probably Arlington. Caden said his favorite was just the overall experience because he was so excited for the Lincoln Memorial. And that's where they actually sang. So he was like, being at the Lincoln Memorial, he said, was a lot. And the wall, like at the wall, like touching the names with his fingers, because you can touch the wall. And that was another very heavy experience.
That's awesome. I'm really glad you guys got to do that.
I know. I'm glad I did too because, I had never done it either. So I would highly encourage anyone that if you've never been to D.C. or you were really, really young, that you should go again. And I'll be honest, we didn't make it through half the stuff that I would have loved to make it through.
Yeah,
but,
I've always heard that.
Yeah.
So many things to do.
There's a lot of things to do. But yeah, I would highly encourage you. I don't know. I was overwhelmed by the vision of because obviously getting a White House tour for anyone that would ever like to actually tour the White House. So you have to go through your senator 30 to 90 days in advance. You have to give them your name, your full address, your social, your date of birth. And then you pick 2 days and you say, these are the 2 days that I would be okay with going. And then they come back to you and they say, okay, here's your window time. Here's the date and here's your window time. And then they call you like a week before that and they say, okay, here's your time. If you miss it, sorry for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we did not get to do that, but just seeing the outside was pretty amazing too. Just to think about all the presidents that have made all the decisions and they've all lived there and well, not all of them, actually. They told us who the first president was to actually live in the White House, and I was amazed by that because for some reason I thought the White House was older than that. And there's not the only JFK is like the only president that's actually buried in Arlington too. So that was pretty interesting. He had his whole gravesite is very, I don't know, another very just like very quiet, very serene.
Right.
Yeah. So overall, if you've never been to DC. Maybe you shouldn't do it on a 16-hour charter bus ride where your feet float. But you should totally do it. And you are going to walk a lot, and drivers are ridiculously, I almost may never complain about a Dothan driver again. I
will eventually.
Multiple times.
I do recall some photos that you sent me of some very attractive-looking Secret Service guys, some police officers.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
There was not one Secret Service. Okay, so there are Secret Service, they're in suit and tie, dark glasses, they stay really far away. And there's Secret Service, they're just every day. They are the police, the DC police. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But not a one that I encountered was an ugly individual.
Maybe they have a hotness requirement.
I really need to know, on a scale from 1 to 10, do you have to at least be a 7 in the Secret Service? Because there was one that, I almost felt really ashamed because he was, so super young. I was like, this may be inappropriate. But if he's Secret Service, then he's at least 18, 19, right. So, he's illegal, but it's still creepy. But yeah, and I said it out loud at one point, and all the other moms got tickled, and I was like, hey, you were all thinking it too. Don't lie. And they were like, yeah.
Another reason to visit the nation's capital.
All of them are nice looking people. Jeez, what is this? I was bummed though. I didn't see any female Secret Service.
I
don't think it's a lack. I don't think it's that they don't exist. I wonder if I just didn't see any.
I wonder the hotness scale there.
Right, what's the hotness scale if you want to be a female Secret Service member? I don't know. We did see protesters.
Yeah.
They were protesting.
Were they?
We don't talk about politics, but this isn't really a political thing.
No, it's not.
It was really funny, and actually I sent pictures to Jenny and them. So we're doing our White House tour, of the grounds, essentially. So, you can walk up to a certain point to the White House, and they show you. You can see, they're, looking over here, you can see this, and looking here, you can see this, and they talk a little bit of the White House. So, directly behind us across the street, because apparently that's as close as they can get, there's, this whole band of people that's, screaming Prince was murdered, and they are holding, purple umbrellas and stuff. Mm-hmm. I still don't. The only thing I gathered is because me and some of the other moms went to the mall while the kids were in practice, and there was it flashed briefly because they have one of these big giant. By the way, the mall was 5 stories high. I lost my shit, I think. But they have this big, almost like a billboard that you pass when you're going down, a major roadway that changes the. So I didn't catch the entire article that they were showing up there, but I guess there was some sort of judgment finally made on Prince's death or whatever, because he checked himself out of the hospital, and I don't entirely understand it. But I guess that is what made them come out of the woodwork.
It's just kind of an odd thing.
Very odd thing to protest across the street from the White House, because what does the president have to do with Prince dying?
Yeah.
What does the president have to do with Prince dying? Like, what does D.C. have to do with Prince dying? Like, I don't get it. But, yeah. And I didn't tell you this. I told Jerry, so I called Jerry that night, and I was telling him, I was like, yeah, Caden got to see his first protesters, and he was like, yeah, really? And I was like, yeah, but it's not anything that you would remotely think of. And he was like, what is it? And I was like, they were over there shouting, Prince was murdered, Prince was murdered. And he goes, well, I didn't see anything today about it. Because he said the first thing in his mind when I was saying Prince, because Prince as in Purple Rain Prince has been dead for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Did something happen to one of the royal princes? And no. And he goes, wait, you mean like Purple Rain? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, holy hell. Like, I did think it was the weirdest thing to ever see. But Caden had all kinds of questions. He's like, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
Why are they speaking like that? What does that mean?
It's like, mama don't know, dude.
I pretty much told him, I was like, well, they're protesting because I guess they think he was murdered. And it was just funny. I was like, I would have been okay with seeing a real protest. So I could have been like, look, son, this is a protest. And this is about, no, Prince was murdered. I got nothing for you. I got nothing.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm interested in that now. So in the midst of all of that,
because I came home, you left, and then you came home and I left, and right now we're both home, but then you left again,
right?
And now I'm about to leave again. Right. So you have 2 weekends of adventure too.
Well,
what were yours?
Most of my adventures have been chronicled on Talkin' Pop. On our third episode, me and Tim talked to Nick Duke, who was one of my traveling companions in New Orleans. And so for more details, see Talkin' Pop episode 3. But WrestleMania and New Orleans was awesome. Like,
how is that, like, as your first, because you're pretty new to, like, the whole wrestling genre, which I think it's fantastic that you found, like, something else that, that is kind of across with the nerd culture.
Yeah,
So you're fairly new to it, but this is like the big deal. Like, this is the event of the wrestling world that happens every year. So, like, what did you think? Like, what were your takeaways? What was your favorite thing about it?
Well, I was happy that I was with a group of people who knew what was happening, so that they could clue me in. So that was very helpful. And I fell in love with it. Like, the whole part, like, I talked about this a little bit, but being, like, a part of the crowd and, like, watching the crowds, is a huge, like, thing for me, I didn't know that was going to happen. And, like, I was afraid that I would, like, not know what to do or what to say or, how to act, really. But the crowd just sort of tells you how to, like, how your emotions are supposed to go.
All right.
So, you just go with the flow. And, I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was gorgeous. Like, the set was amazing. The arena was amazing. It was a long show. It was like a 7-hour show. And honestly, it did not feel that long to me. The only thing was towards the end, the crowd just totally turned on what was happening. And, so that was a little off-putting. And then it just ended abruptly. So I was like, even after 7 hours, I was like, oh, is that it? Like, are we done now?
Right.
Because it was just fascinating the way the mood just shifted in there. But it was fun because there was a little boy and his dad sitting right in front of us, and the little boy was just like totally good the whole time. I was like highly impressed with the child and his dad because honestly, if my child had been sitting with me like that for 7 hours,
For
I would've
7 hours?
lost
Like,
my
I'm just
shit.
going to be...
Yeah. But he
Like,
was...
we have good kids, but I don't know that either one of ours would have lasted 7 hours. That's pretty impressive.
I was very impressed. And some of the guys would, like talk to the kid or whatever. And so it was awesome. And then just being in New Orleans is an experience by itself. There were some adventures. There were some drunken adventures.
Had you been to New Orleans before?
Yeah, this was like my fourth
Oh, okay,
time.
okay.
Yeah. I will say that Airbnb and like Lyft are like the two greatest things.
So that was your first time taking a ride like that, right? Like
Yeah.
when you took your Lyft? Okay, so that was my first. When I was in Wisconsin, I took an Uber, which they're competitors, but still.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was like, I'm with you. Like, that is the most amazing...
It's awesome.
It is.
And
Because I felt like shit. And I was like,
Yeah.
this person's going to drive me back to my
Right.
hotel.
You know-
And I don't have to pay for it either. That's great.
well, I did have to pay for.
I didn't have to pay for mine. My company ordered my car for me.
Well, that
so
was very nice.
it was very nice of them. That, and we'd all been drinking, so they weren't going to let anyone, like,
Right.
drive anyway. So.
But it was just like to just, be on your phone and then 3 minutes later, somebody is coming to pick you up. And given the amount of walking that we did,
Right.
I just appreciated that so much. We had the tailgate, so I got to meet awesome people from Place to Be Nation, and that was a blast. Nick was on the grill, cooking great food and lots more drinks, and that was great. The only thing that I regret is that we didn't have the bar it has karaoke there, but the person that was there that runs karaoke wasn't there because we were there they were there at like 9 a.m.
Oh, holy moly.
And we stayed till like 3 p.m. So we didn't get any karaoke, in at the tailgate, but we did spend like every night at a karaoke bar called Cat's Meow, but none of us got on stage. But it was fun. We still sang from the crowd.
Well, I was going to say, sometimes going to karaoke is not because you want to sing, but just to kind of like watch the other people.
Right.
Because some people, you'd be surprised, well, you wouldn't, but others might be surprised going to karaoke because you're so used to like everybody that's really bad. Mm-hmm. The amount of amazing talent that gets up on a karaoke stage that they're probably just like a housewife like me and you, or, work at a McDonald's or at a library. Like, you never know. Like, it's pretty amazing. Like, somebody just gets up there and you look at them, and we're all guilty of this, but you look at them and you're like, okay, this is going to be bad. And then you're like, holy shit.
There were a few that were sort of like me, but for the most part, yeah, I mean, people would get into it, the crowd was into it, and they had sort of like a host, like an MC, so if things weren't like, if the crowd wasn't feeling it, then they would like jump in and try to help, and they had props and stuff, and so it was just a blast.
Good.
What else? So that Monday morning, I got a call like early, from Ethan, and I was really tired, so I thought it was my alarm. When it went off, I thought it was my alarm. So I kind of swiped it to like not answer it, and then he texted me, and he was like, "Dad's sick, Dad fell," and John had gotten the flu and passed out.
Oh no!
Yeah. So, I knew he had a bug, like a virus or something. Like, he was kind of sick and not really that bad when I left, but apparently he did have the flu and he passed out. And but luckily, we have family around, and so they came to take care of him. So I had to book it all the way from New Orleans home. It was like, okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, but it's a good thing though, because like if he had been driving to work or whatever when that hit him,
Well, that's true.
it would have been, horrific. But so it was kind of good that it happened the way it happened. And then also, his mom had the flu, and also my mom had the flu, all together right there. So that was,
And that was the
a
weekend that
blast.
I had the flu, so
Yes.
I would not have been helpful to
No.
anyone either.
Yeah.
I could have just coughed on John more and given him strep too, because I had strep. And
It was awful. And then, so like last weekend, we went to see Foo Fighters in Atlanta. And
so jealous.
oh my God. Like I've not been to that many concerts really. So hands down, the best concert I've ever been to. It was just fucking amazing. Like epic. They just played for like over 3 hours, and it never sucked. Like it was not. I only missed one song. I think I was in the bathroom for like Monkey Ranch or something, but every song was so good. Dave is just a master of the stage. Like he has this personality and this like playfulness that just even in this giant stadium, he had us like just eating out of the palm of his hand. It was just the coolest shit I've ever seen. Yeah, so those are my adventures. So we should probably talk some nerdy shit now.
Well, I mean, some of that could be pretty nerdy, but yeah.
Because we didn't get to talk about our regular segments last time we did an episode. So, how about I have several things that I've watched. So let's just talk about that first.
Okay.
Real quick.
Are you caught up on Superstore while I'm trying to think
that's
of
what I was going to say.
Okay.
I was going to say.
That is so funny.
I watched the finale today, and like I actually liked the episode before the finale.
I did too, and to be honest with you, I kind of thought that was the finale. Like,
right.
To be honest with you.
And I really like this show. Like,
it's very underrated, I'm telling you.
I think it is very underrated, and some people don't like that. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, in between scenes, they do these funny things, like in the store, that I think adds a whole lot to the show. But I think that some people don't like the randomness of it. But I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I adore this show so much.
I do too, and it is hilarious. Sandra
being Sandra is just
it's the best.
fantastic.
Because they do that baby shower episode was fucking hilarious.
When she's like, well,
what's a melon baby?
What's a melon baby?
Oh
and
my
shut
God.
up, Sandra. Like, everybody wouldn't talk to her, and she's like, but what's a melon baby?
and then
when she, oh my God.
and then she dresses up melons as babies. And I was losing my shit.
I was too, but in her defense, like, if you didn't know, seriously, like,
why would you not just Google it, Sandra? But then that would
I don't know, because that's the thing with Sandra. Anytime she has a question, she doesn't Google anything, but nobody answers her.
Oh, the shit that she
Great
says.
as shit. I love Sandra. It's like when we were talking about it last time, and we were sitting there, and Susan was like, Sandra being Sandra.
Oh, God. That show, like, I don't want to spoil anything as far as storylines go.
Well, I guess we could say skip ahead.
Yeah, but
Wait, was this the most recent episode? Is that the season finale
yeah,
too? It was? Okay, finally, because like I said, I thought the one before that one was, and then I was like, oh, I have another one to watch? Sure.
So you saw the one where they did the live feed, the live stream? Yeah. Okay, so that was the finale.
You fart. No, you fart. God, it makes me so immature. That scene was so funny.
Which I like anything when Amy and Jonah are doing an adventure together. You know, I like any of their that's what I'm in the show for right now, is the Amy and Jonah thing, and Sandra, obviously. So, of course, I like anything that they do, and they have all that nice tension built up from Amy finding out that she was pregnant with her ex-husband's baby, and then finally, like, admitting that she has feelings for Jonah, and then him breaking up with his girlfriend. And so they just did this really nice, like, I don't know, layering of events.
Yes.
And now I don't know what to expect, because at the end, they start hooking up on a live feed that they're not aware of.
Well, I think everybody forgot about the live feed because it was set up in the hopes that they could, if the live feed that the store had put on went down, they could still catch them in their lie on the hidden live feed. So it was set to, like, when one went off, that one would go on,
right.
essentially.
So this feed is going to all of the Cloud9 stores across the globe. So, like, what did they say? Like 180,000 people. So 180,000 people are watching them have sex, and they don't know that.
Yeah.
And then they just end the episode. It's just, I was just squealing. I was like, this is hilarious.
And
like,
Garrett, he's like, guys, you're not going to... And Garrett's the one that set up this camera, so somehow he's going to get blamed for this. Which, I mean...
I kind of hope that they, like, pick up, like, right then. You know what I mean? Like, don't do a time jump next season. Just
I don't, because that's been what shows have been doing now. They jump, and so I'm really hoping they don't do that. But I want to... Okay, at the very beginning of the episode, the season finale, they're all sitting in the break room. Amy looks pregnant. Like, she looks pregnant.
Oh, she is.
I know, but she's not supposed to be that far.
Yeah, I think that was part of the...
So I was like, wait a sec, because at first I thought we had already gone and skipped ahead, because I don't think they meant for that to be there, but she looked pregnant.
Yeah, in the episode before, too, when she found out she was pregnant, she looked pregnant. And
right, and it's one of those things,
it was
like...
very sudden.
Right. So, I mean, she would have known, like, the way, I mean, and I'm not trying to, like, be like, oh, she was big, but, like, in her stomach, it was very round, and I was like, yeah, your stomach wouldn't be that round in your shirt if you were just big. It would definitely be that round if you were pregnant, and a good bit, pregnant. So,
yeah, they stretched that. Yeah, they stretched that out a little bit.
I was like, it's very obvious, like, she's pregnant right now. Or, they've got her wearing a pregnant suit, which is really dumb. I didn't look up and see if America Ferrera is actually pregnant.
I feel like she is.
I feel like she gotta be. Like, yeah.
All right, so what else did I have?
She is.
Okay, I figured she was. Something else, just another real quick before I talk about, like, the main thing that I want to talk about. New Girl has their final season going on right now. I really, really, really liked last season. And this one is, I would say, maybe like a half step down. It's not bad just because I love the characters, but you could tell it's sort of like, it's going to be a shorter season, and it feels like they're trying to wrap stuff up.
Well, this is the one that, like, they knew this was coming, so they're going to close it out.
Right.
Like,
but I think it takes a little bit out of it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's taking a little bit of a spark out of it, just because it's the end. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I get what you're saying.
But like I said, I still like seeing Schmidt as a dad, because he has a 3-year-old daughter, and
did they jump forward on that?
They
show?
did, yeah, they did a time jump on that one. But yeah, that it's been like I said, pretty good. Another show that came back and I didn't even realize it was Silicon Valley, and before I realized it was like 5 episodes in. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even know this started back. And then that one, I found myself being pretty disappointed with, because I don't know if you've ever watched it.
Some, but not really. I never really got into it.
And I really like those characters too, but I feel like at this point they're retreading, and I felt this way a little bit at the end of last season, but not as much because they did some kind of risque things last season. But I feel like they're retreading a lot of the same scenarios, and none of the characters, well, especially the main character, Richard, is not really, like, doing much in the way of character development. Like, at this point, he's been through all this shit, like, with his company, and it's just one disaster after the next. And part of the appeal of the show for me is seeing how he gets out of these predicaments that he gets himself into. But it just seems like it's just this cycle, and he's not learning anything from any of this. Like, by now, you should have a little bit more balls, frankly. Because
No, that makes sense, yeah.
He still, like, can't even talk to his employees without, like, puking in a trash can. Like, you know, he has
Oh, Lord.
a public speaking phobia or whatever. And it's just like, really? I mean, you should have gotten a little bit better by now. Because, I mean, they've been through some shit. And like I said, it feels so familiar that I can't even kind of remember all of the things that have happened to him. Like, there are standout moments, obviously, but I'll be like, wait, who was that guy again? Or what is he talking about? Like, it just gets all jumbled up because it feels samesies. So anyway, still funny, but, and then, what's his face left the show. So, and you could definitely feel that he's gone from the show. It seems to be missing something. But, and then the main thing that I wanted to talk about was Jessica Jones season 2. Now, I know you didn't like it.
I didn't get all the way through season 1 because I didn't entirely like season 1. But you can talk about it completely.
I'm trying to decide if I want to do spoilers or not.
I don't mind you doing spoilers if that's what you're worried about. Like, I don't mind doing spoilers.
I'll try to just keep it generic.
And I feel like it's been out since March. Like I know when it came out because that was my birthday. So it's been out since March 8th now. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I know it's only May, but I feel like what is the time limit on spoilers? Like, I think if you just tell people, warning, this next segment may have spoilers, then you've been warned. You know?
I'll try to keep it fairly generic, but so I love the hell out of season 2, and I was kind of worried that, like, the Punisher, you know, as much as I loved it, I was afraid that Jessica Jones season 2 would not add up to the Punisher for me, but I feel like it did.
Good.
The performances are just amazing. Kristen Ritter is perfect, and even a little bit overshadowed at times, as good as she is, by Carrie Ann Moss, who plays Hogarth. She has, like, heart-wrenching moments this season, and I always liked Carrie Ann Moss, but I feel like she is next level in this. And she's, you know, we've seen her in Iron Fist. Mm-hmm. I want to say she was in Defenders at some point. So we've seen her across the rest of the shows, but this, it's some of her scenes are very difficult to watch because she, like I said, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but she goes through something that I wasn't expecting her to watch, for her to go through. And then she just, because she's always been very, like, cold and, like, methodical and, you know, like badass bitch. You know, she's super smart, super rich lawyer, and, you know, she's cool, calm, and collected. And then all that gets turned and I was just shocked by her performance. I haven't really heard many people talk about this season, so that's another reason why I'm kind of being vague.
Okay.
Because I feel like, hey, if you've watched this and you know me, please talk to me about it, because I have thoughts and emotions about this, okay? We need to talk details. And I super strong performance on her part. You also get Jessica's origin here. Very interesting and sciencey, of course.
All right.
You find out that things that Jessica thought she knew were not exactly true. So a major character comes into her life, who gives another great performance and is very ambiguous. Like, I found myself questioning her a lot. Like, I don't know if I believe her. I don't know if she's full of shit. And then she would have these really great moments with Jessica, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, like, I believe this. I believe it.
Okay.
And then she would kind of do something else that would twist me again. And I'd be like, well, I don't know. And so I really loved being off balance by that character. And then the way that the season ended, it shook me more than I expected. And I don't think it's a spoiler, because if you've followed anything about the show, you know that Kilgrave returns for an episode here. Probably one of the best ones, if not the best one, of course. I guess if there was a criticism, you could say there's not a real villain in season 2, but I kind of feel okay with that, because, like I said, there are several characters that you're not sure about their motives, and you're not sure whether you believe them. So sort of the villain is like doubt, or like trust, or trauma. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
There's not a big bad per se, really. It's just a lot of this is relationship based and emotion based, and you see there's an episode that has the backstory between Trish and Jessica, which I know we had talked about on the comics side that we wanted to see. So this is what we got for the TV side. And
no backstory of her and Carol, though, right?
no, Carol, no, not in this.
Dang it. I'd like to see that.
Well, yeah. It's kind of like Trish is Carol, kind of, not really.
Right.
Not the character, but like their relationship. That's what I mean. But the Trish character is the only sort of wishy-washy part for me, because at times, I think that when she's with Jessica, they have a real chemistry, and she's more likable and watchable. But then when she goes off on her own is when I find myself, like, annoyed with her. So when they did the episode where it kind of chronicles how they fell out with each other, and what happens to Trish as far as her substance abuse problems, and what ultimately drives her to seek help for them. That was interesting, because, like I said, their dynamic was very important in that episode. But and she's very heavily featured in the whole season, so there's a lot of Trish in this. But I find myself sort of empathizing with her, but then at the same time, not really empathizing with her. So I'm still, like I said, I'm still kind of meh on Trish. But ultimately, it didn't take away from my enjoyment of the season. And I don't know if part of that is because the actress, I think, is British. I'm not sure, but she does a really weird American accent. And or if that's just the way she talks, then Lord, God bless her little heart. because it's so weird. So weird the way she enunciates certain things. Anyway, that's nitpicky. But there are some hot sex scenes in this, and there's a super hot love interest for Jessica, who I talked about a little bit in our last episode, who I think he was really good as far as acting goes too, but is very, very nice to look at. So yeah, as far as like ranking it, it's really hard. Like, I am a sucker for an origin story, but season 1 did have all the Kilgrave.
That's true.
So I feel like it's really neck and neck, and Punisher is up there too. So I would say those 3. It would be just any given day, which I would prefer. So I say all that to say I really fucking loved it, and I hope everybody watches it. All right. What you got for watching?
I don't know. I was actually just sitting here thinking about that. I was like, what have I watched that... Oh, so the new show Deception, where he's the magician, and he ends up working for the FBI.
What channel is this on?
I think it's on ABC. So let me pull it up. So it's Deception, and he works for the FBI. So his name's Cameron Black, and he's an illusionist. So I don't know if I should use the word magician, but he does say he's like, it's magic. So he's an illusionist, or at least that's what the majority of everybody thought about him. Like, he's supposed to be better than like Copperfield, Blaine, all of those, right? Mm-hmm. And they name drop those names through the show too. But his secret was exposed and his career was destroyed because his brother gets framed for murder. And his brother is his identical twin. So that's how they were pulling off some of the illusions and the tricks, because there are 2 of them.
Nice.
Right. So his career kind of goes in the shitter. Yeah. But he ends up getting pulled in with the FBI and becoming a consultant because, and like, it doesn't give anything away, but the very first episode, and this is like in the preview too. It's like in the very first episode, they have this big to-do, like, guy. He's like the head of one of the many entities that we are trying to take down right now as an American people. And they have him, and he's in the plane, and the plane's in this hangar, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know, get off! They realize there's a bomb, and he sees all of this. I believe it was like on the news or something, and he's like, no, they've been deceived, and he shows them how they pulled off an illusion to help this guy escape. And he's like, well, I'll help you find him. I'll help you figure this out, because who's better to figure out than the world's, you know, who's better at deception than the master illusionist? Who's,
gotcha.
You know.
Gotcha.
So he helps them with his, you know, ability to, you know, pull off deceptions and illusions, solve these high-profile cases. In return, they are supposed to be helping him prove that his brother really was framed, and he was. Like, it tells you flat out, like, he was. So, and the big bad is the woman that framed him. So, Essentially, his brother was driving really fast, supposed to be driving drunk. He has a car accident. The lady that's in the car with him, who is not his girlfriend, ends up dead, except for she doesn't end up dead. She is the one framing him, like it tells you that in the very beginning. She is the one framing them, but for what reason, I don't know. She won't say, because they keep asking her when their paths do meet. They'll somehow ask her, like, why are you doing this? And she's like, she just keeps saying, I have my reasons. They did do a flashback scene, that does let you know that she and not Cameron, but the other brother, the one that she thought, I think, genuinely, she thought she was setting up Cameron. And she didn't realize that she was not setting up Cameron.
Okay.
So she was actually setting up the other brother actually got set up in this whole mess.
That's not confusing at all.
Yeah. No, well, yes. Well, because the world didn't know that there were two of them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a flashback scene in one of the most recent episodes where they insinuate she met the brothers as children.
Okay.
It still doesn't explain anything, though.
Who's the actor here?
Jack Cutmore Scott. Obviously, he plays Cameron and Jonathan, which is pretty phenomenal because they have them like looking at each other and having deep conversations. And even though they're identical, played by the same person, they have moments where Jonathan's in jail. Mm-hmm. And so he kind of like slicks his hair back and he wears his hair different than Cameron does. And the man is amazing. It's kind of almost like when they have the girl in Orphan Black that was playing like 10 different people. Yeah. So he's only playing 2, but it's pretty amazing because each one of them, Cameron and then Jonathan, have their own like personalities and quirks and tics. So it's very interesting that this is being played by one person.
That's cool.
It has some names or some faces that people are going to recognize from other things. Like the guy he plays Gunter, that's like part of his team, part of his illusion deception team. Mm-hmm. He's Vinnie Jones, but he's one of those like you know him when you see him.
Right.
So if you look him up, you're going to be like, like he's been in Snatch, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, X-Men. Like he's always the big, like, I can take down anybody guy.
Okay.
And then Billy Zane is in it.
Billy Zane!
Yeah, Billy Zane's in it. So there's a couple of people. Jesse Bradford is in it for an episode. So it's people that like, you're like, like, and you have a moment, but for the most part, like, the main characters, like, I had never heard of Jack Cutmore Scott before. But he does a good job.
Awesome.
But apparently he was in stuff that yes, I have. I just didn't remember. Did you ever see the show that didn't last very long called Cooper Barrett's Guide to Surviving Life?
Oh, yeah. I might have seen an episode of that.
Like, it lasted, like, maybe 7 episodes.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was funny.
Yeah.
He was Cooper Barrett.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember liking him.
Yeah. He does a pretty good job. But I recommend that. And it's another one that they didn't heavily, kind of say anything about. I don't remember how I found out about it. But it's really good. I like it. I'm going to keep it up. I hope they keep it.
Okay.
Yep.
What else you got?
I truly don't think I've been watching much TV.
Oh, well, we can talk about Infinity War.
We could talk about Infinity War because, like, we both saw it on opening weekend.
We sure did. And so let's just say spoilers.
Yes, this is definitely going to be spoilers. You cannot talk about this movie without talking about spoilers. Of course, I would like to add, I will give my opinions and stuff. Jenny may not go as in-depth because there is actually an episode that you can go download for your beautiful little ears and listen to. It's like what you, Greg.
No, it's
Tim.
Me, Nick, and Tim.
You, Nick, and Tim. Okay, I don't know why I thought Greg was part of the bunch. So it's Jenny, Nick, and Tim. And is it on like Talking Pop or her traveling, or is it just like an individual episode?
Yeah, it was just like a special review, kind of like what we did for The Last Jedi. So it's just
okay.
Yeah, just a pop feed special review.
So all of their like combined opinions and argumentative
and it's 3.5 hours long.
Are in the 3.5 hour for your ears. Yeah. And that is definitely, obviously, spoiler warning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I have some
that's
thoughts.
why I wanted to know what you thought.
Quick rundown of what I thought?
Yeah.
Originally, I was not a fan of Josh Brolin possibly taking this, but I think he did an amazing job. I don't necessarily know how I felt about the Thanos' reasoning being changed from the book to the movie. Mm-hmm. Like, his reasoning is different. And, like, so if you've read Infinity Wars, the, comic, his reasoning is different. I think if you died, like, legitimately died, you did.
Like Gamora.
Right.
Okay.
Like, I think you did.
Like.
But I think if you dissipate it into thin air, you're not dead.
Right.
I think that Black Panther's sister, because I can't remember her name, the tech-savvy lady that was doing the work on Vision.
I always forget her name.
And that makes me feel really bad. Maybe I should look.
I feel bad because I love her.
So horrible. I know she's great, but I think when at that last minute when they were like, you gotta hurry, and she's like, no, just a second, and you see she drags something different on the screen and taps real quick and drags it away super fast. Mm-hmm. I think she copied Vision.
Okay.
I had some other theories too, but now I feel like I'm forgetting all of them. But yeah, those are the main things. Like, I really think she copied Vision. I think if you dissipate it into thin air because of what Thanos did, you're not dead. I also believe completely that my old boy there, my husband and all, mm-hmm. in his mighty magic ways, in the voodoo that he do, because, Iron Man asks him, mm-hmm. When you calculated the possibilities, how many different outcomes are there? And it's like 14,000, blah, 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 whatever. And he's like, well, how many times do we win? And he says, just one. Mm-hmm. And then much later in the movie, when things happen, he goes, I'm so sorry, it was the only way.
Right.
So that means this was the only way for that one outcome to happen.
I agree.
If you didn't catch that, I don't know what. And then I also have to say, if you sat through the whole thing, which is a Marvel movie, you always should wait until the very end, which the credits were really fucking long. Mm-hmm. Like, is it just me, or is that the longest credits ever?
I don't know. It never bothers me because I'm usually, running my mouth or, looking at my phone or whatever, so I'm just
I really feel like they were the longest credits I've ever sat through. I was like,
probably.
Holy crap. But I got happy, feel good.
Oh, yeah. I knew you were going to get
I was,
high.
clapping and dancing in my seat, and I heard from 3 seats back, what does that mean? Yeah. And I was like, fuck you, and the horse on! I want to start carrying around, trade paperbacks and throwing them in people's faces because you can tell when they say things like that they are only there because they watched movies,
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's not anything wrong with that, but, please do your homework.
Well,
Also, to the gentleman in the seat behind me that argued with me about those were the only Infinity Stones ever, period, you, sir, got schooled.
Well, what about the deaths? Which one hit you the hardest?
Peter.
Yes, definitely.
Because of his reaction. Mm-hmm. Caden lost his shit when Groot died.
Oh.
Yeah, Caden was not cool with that at all.
That was awful.
That was hard. Peter was emotionally hard, though, because...
Yeah. What did you think about... You said you didn't really like his, Thanos' reasoning?
No, I think... I'm not sure how I feel about them changing up the reasoning.
Okay, well, did you like it, though?
I was okay. I'm not against it being because, well, this is what happened to me and I want to keep it from happening to other people, so this is what has to be done for the greater good of all mankind. I'm not opposed to that. I think they're making him out to be nicer than Thanos really is.
So you feel like he's too sympathetic of a villain?
Right. I think yes and no. Because he was not. He did it to impress people before.
Right. It was...
Exactly. It's been a long time. Yeah. But if I remember correctly, his whole reasoning in the comics was to impress Death.
Right. I think that's correct. I haven't read it, but from what I understand, I think that's
have, correct. But it's been a hot minute. So I'm okay with it, but I'm like, did they do that to want you to kind of like him or to understand him? Or
yeah, I feel like they wanted to do give him more pathos than just another villain that just wants to see shit burn. You know what I mean? Like, especially the little arc that he has with Gamora there. You know,
That was gut-wrenching.
I thought it was very
I realized
touching.
exactly what was happening when he was like, you have to give up your...
Right.
I don't remember exactly how it was worded, but essentially, like, you have to give up the thing you care about the most.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because she really did, like, she thought it was over. You know, like, she really did believe that he didn't love her. He didn't love anybody.
And I think that's why the backstory of why he saved her. I think that's why he saved her, because he saw something in her that he couldn't destroy. There was nothing that was going to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's kind of like the look that we give our kid. We birth our child, and, like, you want to protect them with everything you have.
Mm-hmm.
And that look he gives her when he's like, what's wrong, my child?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, as soon as he saw her, he realized, like, I have to protect her for some reason.
But, I mean, in a fucked up way. I mean, like...
Right. Oh,
in
definitely.
his mind, that's what he was doing by freaking murdering half of her home planet.
Right, because he truly believes that what
Right.
he's doing is bettering the worlds.
Yeah, all of the universe.
Right, all of the worlds in all of the universe is what has to be done.
Well,
Which to me was a very biblical thing, if you think about it. Like the whole, I mean, because I'm thinking the whole time I was like, so it's like Noah and the flood. I mean, seriously, I mean... Even if you aren't into biblical stuff, I was just like, for some reason, that's where my brain kept going.
well, between that and the rapture, you know.
Right. Or essentially, yeah. I mean, because, like, when they do rapture stories, there's always chunks of people that are left.
Yeah.
People leave and other people don't.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's very...
I didn't think of it that way. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. I did. I don't know why I did, but I thought of, like, both things. The flood, the rapture, the, like...
But I think that... I think the difference between them is, like, Thanos he's not saving, like, the good people or the bad, you know, or the bad
He's
people.
just not,
He's just literally just halving everything.
Right, and
like,
he's not even choosing specifically. He's just like, okay,
Yeah,
if they're
it
standing
doesn't
on
matter.
the side, then they go. Like, there's no reasoning. It's not like, oh, you were good and you were
Right.
bad, you're important and you're not. Like,
Right.
it's literally like he just goes into a town and takes a piece of red tape and goes, okay, well, today it's the right, so anybody on the right, bye.
Mm-hmm. There's no moral
Like,
judgment
there's no
to
rhyme
it.
or reason
No
to who
morality
he
clause.
chose. No, like, no.
It's just numbers for him, which is chilling. You know what I mean? Like, that's the fearsome part of it.
I think it's worse that it's that way instead of him saying, like, okay, well, these people are important and these people have to offer and...
Right. And then just his resignation with it at the end, like
that look on his... Are you talking about when he's sitting there, the look on his
right
face?
at the end, like...
It's almost... You know what? It's almost like... Have you ever seen those people that, like, when they finally do something, they sit down and they have that smile, that... Like, it's almost like when a weight's been lifted. If you, like, I'm sure you've experienced that before, too. Like, you've gone through something, and when it came to a head and things were completed, you felt like a weight was lifted. And that's the kind of feeling I got from him. Is like...
But
things were good. Like, this was right. And it wasn't to me, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how... I felt like that's how he felt.
I did see that, but then I also felt like it was sort of tinged by regret, you know, for having to lose Gamora. Like, maybe the cost was a little too high for him, but I don't... That might be just me reading into it. But
no, I don't think that's reading into it, because the cost of anything, if we've learned nothing from comics, from books, from anything, the cost is always way higher than anyone ever wants it to be, or anyone ever realizes it's going to be.
Right. I just wonder if that will play a role in the second part.
Oh, I definitely think that plays a role in the second part.
What about the CGI on Thanos? What did you think about that?
Thought CGI in this movie was way better than anything
good.
DC's presented to us.
Yes.
I was like, DC need to be going over and knocking on Marvel's door and being like, hey, so what's up? You know, for us to be better competition, how about you teach me some of them CGI tricks, huh?
Right. It's pretty maddening knowing that something of this quality is like achievable,
Possible with
and then
that many big name people
right,
and that many big
right,
personalities.
and everything that they've done, and I just want it so bad for the DC side.
I'm gonna need DC to step their game up.
So fucking bad, but it's just not like.
I'm also really gonna need Marvel to not F up. Captain Marvel.
I don't think they're gonna F it up.
Well,
they just have so much.
I may feel like they
right
F it up. We'll see.
Yeah,
it comes out on my birthday, for heaven's sake. If they screw this, there's a lot at stake. There's a lot at stake for them.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a major event.
Oh my god, it is.
Let's see.
It deserves a major award.
It does. An award. What other questions did I have for you? What did you think about Thor and the Guardians?
Oh my god, can Thor and the Guardians have their own movie together?
Agreed.
Like, please, please, please.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole, like, are you talking in a deep voice? I'm not talking. It was the greatest Chris Pratt shit ever.
I know. He was so great in this.
Great.
You know, I don't know if you listened to our review, but Mr. Capel was not as high on the movie as you and I are.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He has.
Do I need to, like, smack our BFF around a little bit?
Well, you know, I respect his opinion, and
well, of course we do, but that doesn't mean that we can't smack him around a little bit.
He had choice words to say about Star-Lord, so I'll just leave it at that and point you in the direction of that podcast.
I mean, I actually, I downloaded it, but I just hadn't had a chance. I knew it was there, and I downloaded it, and I wanted everybody else to listen to it. I just have not been able to yet.
All right, so does it bother you? Like one of Nick's points was that he feels like he can't really rank this movie in with the rest of the MCU because it's a part one.
I agree.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, because somebody did ask me, they were like, so where does this rank for you? And I said, I don't think it can. I think I need its entirety before I can say, you know, Infinity War over this or this over this. If you ask me for my current ranking, definitely Guardians 2 because of the overall gut-wrenching emotional tie I had to that movie. Then Doctor Strange because I was completely immersed in that movie. That is now my when I don't feel good turn it on. Like, I just want to watch something because I don't feel good. That's now my movie. And then Spider-Man, which I have now seen like an infinite amount of times. Deadpool, which I've seen an infinite amount of times. So those would be my top ones for sure. But I can't. I'm like him. I can't put Infinity War in there anywhere until I've seen it in its full capacity.
Right. Speaking. Well, one more question I wanted to get your take on.
Okay.
Doctor Strange, I thought was incredible in this movie, and
yes.
I thought that he was extremely badass. He was very surprising to me because I wasn't expecting... I guess I wasn't expecting him to have such a prominent role. Like, I felt like a lot of the screen time was evenly divided, like, fairly well. And I felt like he got a lot of screen time, and I was surprised by that. And then I loved his interactions with Tony, of course.
Yes.
But did you feel like he had his moments in this movie? Like, he had big moments.
Do I feel like Doctor Strange had big moments? Yeah. Oh, I think he's a huge... They all are in some way, but as far as who I think plays the most importance in what is happening overall in this part and the other one, I think he's one of those that plays the most in the overall importance of what is happening.
Were you surprised? Were you like me, thinking that it would be sort of like a one-off type thing?
I was unsure how when you have that many different characters that are so beloved by different people, and such big name people with big personalities, I was concerned with how all of that was going to play out. And I think they did pairings of people very well.
I did too.
You know, like Guardians and Thor, and then, you know, Cumberbatch and Iron Man. Of course, Spidey's going to be wherever Iron Man goes, because that truly is who he looks up to. I felt the three of them together were really great.
I agree.
The other group that was together, I kind of was like, like, you were some of my favorite people, but I don't know how, like, you, like, I just kind of felt like that other group was just kind of there. Like,
you mean Captain America and Scarlet Witch?
Yeah, Captain America, Scarlet Witch, you know,
Vision,
Winter Soldier, all of them. I don't know. I felt like they were just kind of there.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree.
Not so much Scarlet Witch and Jen, because they're a huge part of this. Because Scarlet Witch, if you noticed, boys and girls, was one of the only people that could actually hold Thanos off for a significant amount of time.
That's true. All right, so I'm glad you loved it. I really really am. And I guess we should move on to read.
Although, fun fact, did you realize when Loki at the beginning says, "We have a Hulk"?
Yes.
To Thanos? That is exactly what Tony said to Loki in the Avengers.
Amazing
I was
callback.
like,
yeah. There were several good callbacks.
There were a couple. There were several.
All right. So, are there any books that you would like to talk about?
Let me see. Let me pull up this wonderful list. If I could get into my phone and remember my own passcode.
Your passcode is 1234. Is that correct?
People wish, but no. Sometimes I type my passcode too fast, and so it doesn't take. It only takes 4. Yeah. Like, it doesn't take the full amount of them. What have I been reading? Honestly, like, I took books and stuff with me to DC, and I was like, oh, when we get back to the room at night or on the bus, I'll read this book or I'll listen to this audiobook, and much of that did not happen.
Yeah.
We would get back, and he would take a bath, because he's one of those, like, he'd take a bath or I'd take a shower, or, you know, he always took a bath at night, and then I'd take a shower in the morning. But we'd turn on, you know, when you're in a hotel, you're limited on channels. So we would usually turn on, like, we watched a lot of Teen Titans.
Yes.
Well, because, like, Teen Titans Go was, like, one of the only things on. So we watched a lot of that. I didn't get much reading done. I'm trying to think of what, I mean, I'm working on an audiobook that I'm, like, an hour away from completing, it says. It's book 2 in the Jane Jamison. No, not Jane Jamison. That's a different series. And then get back out. I don't want it to play. Thanks. Jane Madison. Okay. There's 2 series I read. One's called Jane Jamison, and one's the other one, Jane Madison. So it's book 2 in the Jane Madison, Sorcery and the Single Girl by Mindy Klasky. It's just as quirky. I think it falls in the genre of what they consider, crap genre? Crap genre. No. So, like, cozy, paranormal, cozy mystery. It has romance, but it's not, like,
smutty.
Like, yeah, it's not super smutty, no. But it's, like, lighthearted romance. It's actually in Audible's romance package, which I don't know if I've ever said anything about that before or not. But that is amazing if you follow if you read anything romance at all. Especially if you like it smutty, because it will tell you, like, if you want steamy, jump to this, like, it has where you can jump ahead to the steamy part.
Seriously?
Yeah, you can, like, jump ahead to the first kiss, or jump ahead to the steamy parts. And it's like $5 a month, so it's like, and I don't think you have to have a regular Audible membership. It's just, like, $5 on its own. And you can have 10 books checked out at one time, so it's a lot like Kindle Unlimited. You can have 10 books at one time, but there's no limit to how many you can have, like, in a month or anything. there's a lot of content there. You can even go and be like you can go on their website and you can type in, like if you go to the romance package page, you can be like, I want vampires, or I want, I forget, like, there's all kinds of options, but you can go in there and, like, tell it, I'm interested. Let's see here. So you can go to there's romance categories, character types, story themes, and steaminess.
Huh.
So it's like, I'm ready to choose. So what steaminess level am I interested in? And then it's like, sweet is the first one. So there's sweet, simmering, sizzling, hot damn, or oh my God. And that's like all the way up there.
This is like revolutionary in the
It is. It's pretty amazing. I want to be like, hey, Audible, how do I work for this part of your team?
Yes.
Like, seriously, I'm not even joking. So all you need me to do is listen and tell you at what page, like, sex gets real good? Okay, I can do that.
Honestly, every romance book I've ever read in my entire life, that is the first thing I do when I read the book, is find the fucking sex scenes. I mean,
oh my God,
like, that's why
you can. I haven't remember how you do it, but like you can tell it. Like they have other ones, like when you click on the book, if it's like if it's in the suite, it's like, oh, do you jump ahead to first kiss or jump ahead to it? Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Must investigate further.
I did finish book 2 of one of the books that you laughed your ass off the whole time. I tried to explain planning to you.
Oh shit, which one?
It was shit. This one was a werewolf one. So like they're all in. The third one it's the Nocturne Falls series. Remember in the first one he was a vampire, and the second one he was a werewolf, and now the third gargoyle.
Yeah.
And they all live in this city called Nocturne Falls.
Yeah.
And they have like nobody, like the tourists come because they're like, oh, it's Halloween. Like they purposely have it like Halloween all the time because it brings tourists. Mm-hmm. But the tourists don't know that like they really are creatures.
Oh God.
Things. Oh my God. They're on a cheese factor level that you like really appreciate though. Like there's some pretty cheese factors in them. But they can be pretty steamy, too.
I mean, who doesn't want to fuck a gargoyle? I mean...
Right? They're pretty quick reads, though. They're pretty interesting. Well, in the werewolf book, she was a werewolf, too. Mm. And she was actually forced to marry him from another pack. But it ends up all working out in, like, everybody's favor. It's got some, like, stabbing that happens. Like, people get stabbed. There's some family... quarrels, like Hatfield McCoy. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's kind of fun.
All right.
Kind of fun. So I did finish one book. I'm proud of myself. Mm-hmm. Finished one whole book.
How you doing on your goal for the year?
Let me see. I was doing really good on my goal. I was like above, because it tells you you're above your goal. Mm-hmm. And I've not checked it, so let's make sure that I didn't
I gotta keep you on track here,
right?
Friend.
Well, it's become kind of like part of the show now. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I was trying very hard to stay ahead of that goal, but I may have squashed it a little bit.
That's all right. Yeah, plenty of time. What is it?
Yeah, because it's like till the end of the year. Right. Yeah. But I'm like, shit, it's May. I feel like I should have already gotten way farther.
Girl, I ain't really one to talk. I'm so behind on comic books.
Oh, comic books? Oh my God. So I have completed, my goal this year was 60. I think I only upped it by. So according to this, I am 10 books behind schedule.
Oof.
I've read 10 of 60 books. But I don't think I updated 2 that I did finish. So I'll have to check out the list there.
Well, we're going to go into summer TV, which will, calm down a little bit of her.
Hiatus, yeah.
Yeah.
Which a couple of my shows are summer-only shows, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yep. Do you have any other books?
I don't think I do right now. I really think that was it. It's just I really wanted you guys to know about the romance package.
Yes, I'm glad I know about that. So, like I said, I'm, of course, still behind on comic books. But I did pick up a trade paperback a couple of weeks ago, and I just happened to pick it up today. And it is called Catwoman When in Rome by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. I remember, I think Greg is one that mentioned this miniseries. It's like 6 episodes. Issues in the trade paperback, and it's.
But it comes in is 6 issues in that one trade. Like that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a mini. So it's a complete story here, but it's also part of a larger story. Kind of part of The Long Halloween and Batman Dark Victory, which I have read The Long Halloween, but I have not read.
I was going to say, I have not, but I want to because apparently the next season of Gotham, that's kind of what they're...
Yeah, I heard about that.
Like, I've read it before, but I don't remember any of it. So, like, I would like to read it again because that's supposedly the next season is what they're kind of basing themselves off of.
And I'm interested in Catwoman because I've really enjoyed her in the current Batman series that's ongoing, and there's supposed to be a cat-bat wedding soon this summer. So, and like I said, I've really enjoyed the way she's been written there, and so I just this just kind of appealed to me, and that it's a mini. I gotta say, I really liked it. It's Selena is naked a lot in this book. Like, you see her ass cheeks on almost every page, like it feels like in the beginning. She's in bed naked. She's in the tub naked.
Well, I mean, one is naked when they're in the tub.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, she gets out of the tub to confront somebody and, she's naked. And, then she confronts somebody in her underwear, and then, so there. I mean, it's hot because like it's Selena, but I was just like, really? Like when you're reading it back to back, like while the issues were ongoing, I'm sure it was not as obvious because you had some time, some distance in between the episodes,
right?
The fucking issues. So I feel like that might have helped, but when you're reading them back to back like this, you're like, good God, is she ever going to put any fucking clothes on? But anyway, so she's going to Rome because she suspects that she is the daughter of Carmine Falcone.
Right.
And so she takes the Riddler with her, and it's sort of comical at first. Like, she treats him like shit, and he's kind of squirrely and, like, tries to, like, peep on her when she's one of the 400 times when she's naked. But she handles him pretty well. And, like, this is an old story, so I'm not really worried about spoilers here. This is from, like, 2004 or some shit. And all through it, like, when she goes to Rome, she meets this assassin person who is related to the Falcone family. And he, like, for him, you don't know, like, if he's going to end up being good or a bad guy. And then, of course, he figures out that she's Catwoman. Because it was kind of hard to hide it, really, at that point. One of the main Don guy, he gets murdered by Joker juice or whatever they call it.
He gets all myrtleted.
He gets all myrtleted, so some people think that it's Catwoman that's murdered him. And then, like, all throughout it, she will, like, hallucinate. Like, she'll have all these, like, visions of Batman in all these different scenarios. and he's always trying to hurt her in some way. So you could tell that something's happening to her, like this is not normal.
Right.
So you can, it's pretty obvious throughout the story that it's the Riddler that's doing this stuff to her. But, so there's no real, like, surprise or whatever when he turns out to be the bad guy here. But it's still, like, interestingly told. Like, there's a lot of Selena interior dialogue that I really liked a lot. The artwork is really good. At first I thought it looked a little dark.
Mm-hmm.
But
as in dark, like I think about the Da Vinci Code movies, like I can't fucking see it, or dark as in tone?
like I can't see it. Like I was
like, I just want to make sure.
like I went from like three different rooms while I was reading this today because I was like, why can't I see the panels? I was like, is it too dim in here? And then I'd go somewhere, and then the light would reflect off the pages because they're glossy. And so it would be even harder to see it. And then I got right under a lamp at one point, so it was a little bit better. But when you can see it, she's drawn very well, like I said. But the panel layouts are good, but it's just a tad dark. As far as the blacks are really black. But when they do like a full page or like a splash page and it looks lighter, it looks really good. There are a couple times when her face looks a little odd, but it's...
Yeah, I'm like, you faces bother me if they're not done right.
Yeah, I'm just weird about that anyway. But for the most part, it's all super good. Like, he does a great job, particularly with Catwoman's eyes, I feel like. He does this really cool arch to her eyebrow, which I think looks awesome. I feel like there was another thing. Oh, I didn't particularly, because when she doesn't realize it at the time, but there are all these Gotham things that keep showing up in Italy, and like the cheetah shows up, and the Joker juice or whatever showed up to kill the Dawn, and Mr. Freeze's gun shows up. So
for like, I do plan on reading this. So if you can answer without spoiling, like it shows up as in like for real, or they're trying to like, or as like Easter eggs, or like
people like are trying to kill her. So but it's like. She's like, I'm in Italy. Like, why are all these Gotham things here?
Gotcha.
And I didn't really like that much about Cheetah, the way she looks here. I much prefer Liam Sharp's drawing. And then one of the other bad guys looks like freaking Voldemort. Or
not in a good way.
Or like Squidward from Infinity War. And there's a kiss with the Riddler that's really kind of funny too. But I keep getting distracted by this panel of her in her underwear, so I need to keep turning pages. But yeah, I really like this book, and I am very interested in more Catwoman solo type stories, which saw an ad that there was several more Catwoman Volume 2, Gotham City Sirens.
Maybe we should pick a Catwoman to read.
Yeah. You got...
I'd be down with that.
You got the Ed Brubaker and the Darwin Cook Catwoman, which looks really cool. So yeah, I think we'll probably mark that down for a future episode.
There's also a Catwoman that I started, and she's by, you remember those books that were being done by some of my favorite authors? They're like books.
Oh, yeah.
They had the Batman, there was a cat one written by Sarah J. Moss. I always say her last name wrong. And one of the quick snippet reviews that I saw of it was, I think I wrote it down the other day. It was something about sizzling action, suspense, something sexy romance. It's like, it will steal your heart. It's like, it's supposed to be her coming of age thievery. So that might be kind of cool. Because I haven't read that yet.
Yeah.
Like, that might be kind of cool.
Yeah, let's add that to the list then. All right, so before we get a break, let's talk quickly about some downloads.
Yeah, so I've been listening way hardcore still to the Heaving Bosoms girls. I think I love them. Like, I think I do.
I did listen to an episode, and I like them a lot, too.
So I mentioned last time that their quality, their sound quality was a little bit different, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was, I figured out it was because they FaceTime each other, or at least that's what I thought it was. So I'm pretty, like, I think I've listened to almost all of their episodes now at this point. And the first one, I went back to listen to something in the first one what they referenced, and the first one really doesn't have, that's the one that just to, like, warn everybody, because, I talked them up so big time. Mm-hmm. So their sound quality is way better once you get past that. Like, they figure out the bumps, which, we have the same problem. Like, everybody has bumps when you first start, but they're pretty impressive, and, like, I may have been chatting with one of them about podcast fame.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I know. They're super sweet girls. And now they have started where you can kind of read along with them. They'll post a list of the books that they are going to be doing, and they don't tell you, like, which one's coming next, because they're like us. They're like, cuz life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I love. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm kind of reading along with them because sad day, Vaginal Fantasies will be staying. It's going to continue with, like, monthly reads and stuff. But there will no longer be a monthly meetup with Felicia, Bonnie, Kyla, and Veronica.
Aw.
I know.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Sad day. Sad days. So they will no longer have, like, their monthly Google Hangout. So I'm kind of glad that I found the HB ladies, and they call us HBs because Heaving Bosom. So kind of glad I found them, and I keep listening to them. And I have listened to a couple more episodes of My Favorite Murder because they're really good, too. Mm-hmm. And I found out about this thing this weekend called Crime Con. And I need this to happen in my life.
Crime Con.
Crime Con. It's a real thing.
Okay.
And it's like Nancy Grace is there. Apparently, I know, but she's one, like, when you talk about things like that,
yeah.
like people. I'm just giving you an example of who's there.
He's the
that
Stan Lee of crime.
Kind of. Or like a lot of the people that, if you watch a lot of the Investigation Discovery or the 60 Minutes, the people that come on and do the narration and do the questioning,
right.
Like when they interview those people. It's pretty fascinating. I didn't know that was a thing.
Where's that at?
So this year it was in Nashville, which made me super mad because that was totally doable for me. Mm-hmm. Next year it's in New Orleans, which is drive time, probably totally doable, but way more expensive, I'm sure. But I'm already going to be in Nashville next weekend for another convention, so.
Well.
So as far as podcasts go, it sounds really bad. I did listen to Comic Book Theater.
Oh, yeah. What did you think?
I was really proud. This is going to sound really vain, but I was really proud of myself because I was going through the scene where it's me and Garner, and I was like, dang, this is a good scene. And then I was like, wait, that's me. Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
That is a good scene. I like it.
I loved that scene.
That whole thing is good. I'm sorry, but
I know.
It was awesome.
It's fantastic.
It's into Comic Book Theater.
Just, like, putting this out there for you guys, especially Mr. Manager, sir, like, and the sweet boys at Heart Traveling Fanboys, because those are the three that make that happen. Like,
agreed.
Well, I mean, yeah, other people have, but they are, like, the main components because, they have to do all the editing and the writing of the script, and they even are so okay with us ad-libbing and doing funny voices. They kind of encourage it. And I will continue to be there to do these as long as they continue to write them, because they are fantastic to listen to and to be a part of. Like, just, yes.
Completely
so much, yes.
agreed on every single thing you just said.
So much.
So much.
Just go listen. And I would recommend listening to, like, even if you've already read or listened to part 1, like, listen to the first one and then listen to the second, because they go together.
Mm-hmm. And Todd remastered the first one. So
he did.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think it needed to be, but, like, it's amazing.
It is. The only other thing I wanted to mention was, so, like, I can't remember if we talked about it last time, but Nerdist changed the name of the podcast. So Chris Hardwick's Nerdist podcast is called ID10T now. Which is idiot. And, I mean, like, I'm still going to call it Nerdist because, like, that's stupid and a mouthful to say. But anyway, he had his reasonings for that. And
what are his reasonings? Because I told you I scrolled through my podcast feed and was like, what is this? I don't remember subscribing to this. And then I realized Nerdist was missing, and that was a picture of Chris Hardwick, and put 2 and 2 together. But
it's
what's the reason?
Like, he, his handle on social media used to be @Nerdist, but he, like, kind of gave it up to, like, the real Nerdist when it took off and became, like, a thing. So he wanted that to be sort of like the quote-unquote, like, company part, so he took his own personal handle, and started using that. So Nerdist, their company was bought by somebody. So they have, it's like its own entity now within it.
Apparently Nerdist was, like, the longest running podcast.
Yeah, it's
like
they have
of any
almost 1,000
podcast
episodes.
Yeah, they're the longest running podcast.
So anyway, I used to listen to every one of them, and now I just kind of pick and choose based on who the guest is. So this week I saw David Tennant was the guest.
Ooh.
And I'm like, yes, I'm going to listen to this. And I was not disappointed because, oh my God.
I love David Tennant.
He is the fucking best.
That man could talk about anything, and I would just
anything.
Listen.
He's just so genuine, like, and funny, and that damn Scottish accent.
But he makes everything sound interesting because most of the time he's talking, he's truly interested about what he's talking about.
Yes. He just seems so very down to earth, and I love how he embraces all the Doctor Who stuff, and I feel like he doesn't really get tired of it. I feel like he's just so grateful for it.
I think he realizes that's where his, like, yes, he was acting and was known before then, but that's where his stardom really comes from.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I think he knows that and embraces that, unlike some other actors.
And he's, like, really funny. I think him and Chris have a really good chemistry. It's just a really, really good listen, especially if you're a Doctor Who fan. And he has a new movie coming out where apparently he's a bad guy. So I'm excited.
He does good bad guy.
He surely does. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. I don't remember what number it is, but it's the most recent David Tennant one. So
I looked. I don't
check
think it has
that out.
Number.
All right. Well, when we get back from the break, we will tell you what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So we'll see you on the flip side.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, pro wrestling announcer Kevin Kelly here. I want to make sure you are all subscribed to all the great feeds here at Place to Be Nation. It's really easy to do. Just head to iTunes or your preferred podcatcher app today and search and subscribe to the Place to Be Nation wrestling feed, which, of course, includes the full archives of the Kevin Kelly Show, the Place to Be Nation pod feed, and the Pro Wrestling Only feed. Subscribe, listen, and then rate us and leave feedback today. And be sure to give Justin your true thoughts. I mean, don't hold back. After all, he is kind of a jerk. Just listen to Scott.
Place for Nations, JT Rosero and Chad Campbell here. We want to let you know that we have a ton of great podcasts available to you on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and PlaceForNation.com. We offer them to you on 2 great feeds. On the Place for Nation Wrestling feed, we bring you the Mothership, the Place to Be podcast, along with Main Event, Survey Says, the Monday Night Wars, and our monthly pay-per-view reaction show, as well as Jeff Learns Wrestling. In addition to these full-length shows, we also deliver special network podcasts and pod blasts on topics old and new.
Over on the Pro Wrestling Only feed, we dive deep inside the wrestling business with a stacked army of experts leading the way. The feed features potpourri shows such as This Week in Wrestling, Greetings from Allentown, Match of the Week podcast, and the Military Industrial Suplex. We also have shows that focus intently on certain topics like Through the Years, Worldcast, Strong Style History, Strong Style Story, and Mount Olympus. Plus, the feed has the full archives of legendary shows like Titans of Wrestling, Where the Big Boys Play, Letters from Center Stage, and Letters from Kayfabe, plus much more. And on our very popular Place to Be Nation Pop podcast feed, we offer such great shows as Talkin' Pop, the Glenn Butler Podcast Hour Spectacular, NBA Team, PTBN Play, Sunday Groove, Breaking Balls, and Lucha Undead,
as well as a veritable podcast heaven for comics fans
with the Hard Traveling Fanboys, Sellers Points, Todd Weber's Conversations, Geek and Sassy, and Marvel Age Podcasts.
You can find all of these current shows, plus archives of our past podcasts, including The Kevin Kelly Show, as well by subscribing to both feeds on iTunes. And while there, be sure to rate and leave feedback today. All these shows, plus others, available at PlayStation.com, where we cover pro wrestling, sports, movies, comics, plus in-depth stretch projects, and more. Be sure to support our site by using PlayStation.com/Amazon when doing your online shopping, and download our free PTB Vintage Vault Refresh ebooks via the links on our site. We also want to thank our friends at Boneheads Wing Bar in West Warwick, Rhode Island, and Fall River, Massachusetts, and thehistoryofwrestling.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr as well. PlayStation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
They're all around me, circling like vultures. They wanna break me and wash away my colors. Wash away my colors. Take me high and I'll sing of you. Make everything okay, 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 okay.
Welcome back to Geek and Sassy. Me and Miranda, we're about to talk about an animated movie that has recently come out in the last, 4 months? This was January of 2018. So it is from DC. It is called Gotham by Gaslight.
And did you know that this is actually the third DC comic animated original movie that actually received an R rating?
I did read that. And I think we'll get to it, but it might have something to do with calling chicks whores and sluts for most of the movie.
Pretty well. It actually said they had rated it R for some violence, but I was like, I'm pretty sure saying slut would do it.
Which, I mean, that's not really that bad, but
no, and essentially when we get more into the story, it definitely goes, it's needed for the story, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely, because this is sort of like an Elseworlds type story, so...
It is the Elseworlds type story.
So the gimmick is that it's Gotham set in Victorian times, and also kind of wrapped up in the Jack the Ripper.
Right.
Mythos, I guess you can say.
And I guess I was reading that some of the other Elseworld stories, obviously it's heroes being taken from their usual settings and putting to strange times and places, but some are even places that can't exist, or I think somebody at DC said couldn't or shouldn't exist, too.
Right, yeah. And
So I thought that was pretty cool.
it's removed from, like, the rest of continuity, so I really like that. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
like, a thing that's separate by itself, so you don't have to know, like, 100 years of shit about it. It's sort of like the fantasy part of it. Which I had read this paperback from... it must have been a couple of months ago. Like, maybe the end of last year I read it. And I remember there was like two distinct stories in that trade paperback, and the second one was not good at all. And
Yeah, because I think I remember you talked about it on here.
I did. And the first one was pretty good. But to me, like, ultimately, I think the story that they told in the movie was way better than what they did in the comic book. Honestly. I prefer the movie a lot more.
I'll just go ahead and say, I love this freaking movie.
It was really good. So we got, as far as the voice cast...
Voice cast is amazing.
It was really good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, Bruce Greenwood as Batman.
Which, with that, he actually that's his third time voicing Bruce Wayne, Batman.
Jennifer Carpenter as Selena Kyle, who I enjoyed quite a bit.
Yeah, I like her. I could, like, when the Catwoman was on screen and I heard the voice, like, it just seemed like it was correct. Like, if that makes sense.
I feel like her and Bruce had a lot of chemistry, and they had, even in animation, you could tell it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the animation and the voice performance, it really came through as far as their dynamic. And then, of course, his a smaller role, but John DiMaggio as Police Chief Bullock.
I love DiMaggio.
I do too. Anytime he does anything, I'm there. Who else?
Anthony Head was Alfred.
That's right, yeah. Sort of a smaller role for Alfred.
Scott Patterson is James Gordon.
That's a good one. Scott, man, that's good. Because that's Luke, right? From Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
That's awesome. He should do more. He should.
He was really good.
He was excellent.
And then Tara Strong.
Tara Strong, yeah. And her role was small as well.
It was small, but I thought it was interesting. So the lady that voiced Sister Leslie is the voice when Selena is singing.
Huh.
Yeah, Jennifer Carpenter is not singing that song that you hear. It's the lady that plays Sister Leslie.
Gray Griffin. Interesting. That was a weird song, but anyway.
It was, but it was kind of cool too.
All right, so, like, kind of like everything else that we've talked about tonight, we're going to go pretty spoilery on this, right?
Well, I mean, we can't discuss a movie and it be the main point of the show and not be spoilery.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, I still feel like, I don't know, I still feel like the twist is fairly predictable, so I don't feel like it'll be that, you know, it's not really going to be that shocking.
Right. I mean, I don't know how I felt about it, but I was like, once I realized where it was going, I was like, yeah, okay.
It was different.
It was different, but I think it's kind of like you said a moment ago, how it's like completely separate from anything you know.
And also separate from the comic book, if you read that one. So don't expect that story, because this ain't it. So anyway, it's Victorian era Gotham City, which I dug that so much. Yeah, a lot of Gotham lends itself to that sort of darkness and anyway, so it seemed very fitting. So of course Batman is feared by the public, and when ladies of the evening start being murdered, of course everybody thinks that it's Batman. The first lady of the evening that which she wasn't and kind of was. Like, they insinuated she was a prostitute, and she kind of did, but it wasn't obvious. You know what I mean? Like, because it
was her word. It was the words that she used.
So it's Poison Ivy, and you see her in a club, and she's like dancing and singing, right? And
she's doing like burlesque type show
thing, but she's not getting naked enough for the crowd.
No, because did you notice the guy goes,
"Take off the
Come
leaves.
on, take off the leaves."
So then which is kind of odd because you kind of felt like she wasn't reveling in it. It seemed like she was very hesitant about that. But then when she gets in the alley, she is very forward when she sees a stranger in a dark alley. You know, she's like, "You look lonely," or whatever, and I bet you could compensate me for my time. I was like, wasn't she just like kind of uncomfortable taking her clothes off on the stage? I don't know. So it was a bit like, what?
Well, Victorian prostitutes apparently didn't take all their clothes off. They just kind of like
lifted the skirts.
That's and
true.
Such. So
yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. But then she gets murderized.
Yes, very much so. She didn't last long.
No, she didn't. And then so it goes through, like, all throughout the story, you'll see, like, ladies get murdered, you know, and then
it's a Jack the Ripper story.
Right.
People get murderized.
Right. And
mutilated, whatever they want to call it.
They name drop Jack the Ripper at one point without really, like...
Well, a couple of times.
Yeah. And I think eventually they just ended up calling him the Ripper. But I thought that
And then a few times they just call him Jack.
Right. And they make mention that he had been writing letters to the newspaper or to the police or whatever and identified himself that way.
Well, isn't that... Well, I mean, if you remember the actual story of Jack the Ripper, he did the same thing.
Right.
He wrote a letter to the whatever, which this is the Gotham Gazette, not the England's whatever.
Right, yeah. I'm not as versed in Jack the Ripper lore as you are.
Oh, my lord. I think that's why I adored this movie so much. Which sounds really creepy, but I'm sorry, guys. I just really like all things to do with Jack the Ripper, because it's like the world's oldest unsolved murder mystery. Ah, God.
I mean, yeah. I really
Now we all know why Miranda wants to go to CrimeCon. Like,
nobody's shocked.
No, nobody's shocked.
So we meet Selena Kyle, who is sort of like she's in the higher end as far as society goes, but she's still
She would have been a lady that you would have paid money for her to go to dinner and be seen with you, not so much just screwing her in an alley somewhere. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, because notice, like, when she does the dance on stage, her little burlesque can, and she's, like, the main girl, and, like, everybody knows her. They're like, Miss Kyle, and, like, it's insinuated. So, in Victorian times, there were prostitutes, and then there were ladies, or women of the night, prostitutes, whatever you want to call them, and then there were ladies that you could pay them for their time.
Okay.
And it was not that kind. It could be eating dinner with you, being seen in public with you.
More like a call girl type of thing.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that does make sense now that you said it, but I didn't pick up on that when I watched it because, like you said, she says, "This is my show," you know, and she is the lead performer of it and everything. So I thought she was more of a celebrity.
Well, she is, but Victorian celebrities, female celebrities in that day, you could pay and they could be seen on your arm. Okay. And that was a big deal to be seen out with women like that.
But she also is a defender of what they call Skinner's End, I guess would be like crime alley type area.
Right.
And, you know, is disturbed by the police seemingly not taking care of this problem of women being murdered in the street. There's a lot of gender politics
Yes.
in this movie. So
A lot. Well, in that era in general.
Mm-hmm. So she causes a fuss with the police chief and like Bullock, and then Gordon and Bruce, and is very passionate about her,
Well, and Harvey did too.
and Dent. Yeah, well, she's friends with him. Like, I feel like he's paid her for her time.
Right.
And,
Very much so.
He's
married.
right.
Because Bruce even says that one time, he's like, what about your wife?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, it's the 19th century. Get with it. Like,
Don't be such a square, Bruce.
isn't that what he says? I think
Something
it is.
like that.
Yeah.
So, Batman shows up and has a conversation with Gordon at his house, which I thought was a very interesting scene, because finding out about Gordon later made me think about that scene in a totally different way.
I know, it did. It made me go back, because we're looking at it, you're looking at it differently entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost think because, okay, when that scene starts, he's dreaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me wonder if that whole thing, not the Batman part, but the whole thing where he's like, got his arms around her and hugging her and like, your eggs are ready, like, makes me wonder if that is a dream and not.
I don't know, because of her reaction later in the movie.
Right. It's very, very, Stockholm Syndrome?
A little bit, yeah.
Like
cultish, even.
Yeah.
She had been brainwashed completely. Anyway, we're kind of giving it away, but I think that instinctively you want to trust a James Gordon in a Batman story. Of course,
because it's James Gordon, and it's a Batman story, so you're like, oh, Commissioner Gordon, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what you've always been told in every Batman story.
Mm-hmm.
James Gordon means good.
Right. So this scene initially seems very familiar to many of their interactions that we've seen in so many
I did
areas.
think it was weird that he told him not to come to his home. That it was, like, at first I was thinking, don't come to my home. This is a private sanctuary from all the rest of the things in Gotham. And I was looking back on other Batman stories and other Batman movies where I'm pretty sure he's been to Gordon's house on multiple occasions.
Yeah, it was odd.
Because Gordon knows he's Batman, like, in everything else.
Right.
Like, they know that the Bat is Bruce Wayne. Like, Gordon knows. Like, even in my Gotham, like, Gordon knows what is going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's very weird that he was like, don't come to my home. Because at that point in time, I still didn't see what was, like, I didn't see what was yet.
Yeah, right.
I didn't see that yet. I didn't see that yet.
So, there is a scene where, Bruce is friends with Harvey Dent, and he is the solicitor, or the lawyer, or whatever.
Right, that's what they called lawyers.
Yeah, the DA, sort of.
And Harvey is friends with Hugo Strange, who is their alienist.
They're alienists. That was funny. That's.
I know. I was like, when that word came out, I was like, oh my god.
Who doesn't he work at Arkham? Yeah.
He does, which he does in the other stories too. But I just liked that they actually used the word solicitor and alienist instead of, especially with the recent, my love of the new Alienist show. So
it was very in keeping with the Victorian era.
Yes.
So they go to Selina's show, and then meet her in her dressing room.
Yes.
Where she is naked. People just like their Selina naked, I suppose.
I guess.
Not that I blame them at all, but... and then that's when Bruce and Selina meet for the first time. and they have obvious sparks, even though she's kind of technically not with Harvey, but
Harvey thinks she's with Harvey, but
Harvey is not.
She's
aware.
not entirely with Harvey.
Right.
She's her own person and is willing to be seen with Harvey because, for whatever reason, even though Harvey's a married man, it's a big deal for Harvey to be seen with Selena.
And, like you said, he's probably paying her to.
Right.
So she's not... I'm trying to remember, does she steal anything?
I don't remember her stealing anything, and actually I was going to make comment to the fact that in this iteration of Catwoman, she's almost a good vigilante, just like Batman. She's the protector of that area. She wants the killings, she wants the Jack the Ripper killings to stop. You see a pretty cool fight scene pretty quickly after Bruce meets her, between her and Jack the Ripper, which allows you to realize that she's Catwoman. So it's almost like she's a good guy, which
I was gonna
goes
say,
with somebody being a bad person that never has been before, if you think about it.
Yeah, there was not much of that, like, ambiguity that comes with Catwoman,
No.
There wasn't... Yeah, that's odd.
Like, I don't remember seeing her steal anything.
Yeah.
Like, she was a good person in this one.
A little racy, you know what I mean? But
right, but that's her.
Right. I liked it, though. I liked it a lot.
No, I really, really loved this movie.
She sneaks into their men's only club. Well, they sneak her into the club. And they have a really good back and forth, rather, a little banter where he sort of does his detective thing on her. He kind of reads her and tells her fact her life that he should not know, but he's deduced from her, which I thought was very good. Very Batman. And she seemed very surprised.
Right.
So that was nice. I like it when she gets surprised, because she always kind of plays it like she knows everything. So there's another murder at that point.
A lot of murdering.
A lot of murdering.
It's Jack the Ripper, people.
What do we think about the design here for Batman? Do you like the costume? I
think it's very fitting with trying to have a vigilante costume in Victorian era.
I agree. It was kind of steampunky a little bit.
Yes, which makes sense to me, especially when he breaks out the motorcycle. I was like, don't know that would have been there, but okay. It went very steampunkish with that.
Right. I liked his look a lot, and she was like, she didn't have a costume, so.
No, but I mean, she would hike part of her dress up, and she could pull out the whip, and it was almost like she tucked the dress in so that she could move. Like, I don't think she wore the undergarments that most Victorian ladies wore, because you don't see them when she's like flipping around and flailing her whip and stuff. But now when she was on stage doing her little can, you can plainly see the little undergarments that would have been like breaking to show at that time. Which is funny to me. So ruffle butts is what gets you off? Okay.
Ruffle butts are hot. Let's see. What did you think about the animation style?
I really liked it, actually. When it was first starting, I was like, not sure about this. And then it kept going, and I really enjoyed it.
There were some scenes that I thought looked like super, super computery, if that's like a thing that makes sense for to say.
Right.
Because the whole thing is on a computer, but it just looked flat and very
I could see
two-dimensional.
That. And that's how it is at the very beginning, so maybe that's I see what you're talking about. It's not, it doesn't have dimension to it.
Right, it wasn't textured at all. It was just kind of off.
Which, did you notice, way at the beginning there, which cracks me up because actually it's one of the screenshots that you took today.
Oh, yeah.
With the street urchins.
Yes.
Did you notice anything about their names?
Their names were Dickie, Jason, and Timmy.
Yep.
And they were known as the Cock Robins.
I looked that up because I wanted to know what amiable cock robins meant. Mm-hmm. And it essentially means that the boss there was in charge of the kids. He wanted to get on with the murder. Like, he wanted to murder, because I looked that up. I was like, amiable cock robins. Like, that has to be something. Like, that's not just words you throw together like that.
I had no idea what he said, so I put on the closed captioning and I went back, and then it said cock robins. I'm like, what in the fuck is he talking about?
So apparently, Who Killed Cock Robin is an English nursery rhyme.
What?
And it's an English nursery rhyme which has been used as a murder archetype. So, a cock robin essentially is talking about a murder, committing a murder.
Okay. And then it's a play on words because all those boys are robins.
Right.
Interesting.
So, yeah. And it even orders them, if you realize it. Dickie is older and tallest, and Dick Grayson was first. Mm-hmm. Jason is even second in height, so they stair-step in height. And he was the second Robin, which is Jason Todd. And then Tim is the youngest and shortest and smallest, thus being the third Robin, which was Tim Drake.
Yeah, that's smart writing. I mean,
I know, I was like...
It sounds like dumb, but...
It does, but it doesn't, because then it's like, that's pretty... It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of ingenious.
Kind of is.
Kind of is.
And then later on, after... let's see, there was another murder, and...
How many murders were there? I lost count.
4? I want to say.
I was like at least 4, because there was Ivy.
Leslie. The old lady.
The old lady that I can't remember her name.
And then after was like a random slut.
I think so too. Like to prove a point, I think is what it was. So there was 4.
Marlene, was that her name? The old lady? Marlene?
Possibly.
Okay.
Is that who Tara Strong was?
Yeah, that's who Tara. That's how I know, because I could recognize Tara Strong in that crazy voice.
And then to other people, someone else dies, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. So eventually, let's see, Batman and Catwoman end up spending the night together. Mm-hmm. And then the police come for him the next day because
they think he's Jack the Ripper.
They think he's Jack the Ripper, and there was a piece of evidence that they found. And I can't remember what it was.
Well, and then crazy old lady was screaming
That's what it was.
Leslie's funeral.
Yeah.
And what she thinks she saw and what she actually saw are two different things.
Exactly, yeah.
So, Batman, Bruce, whatever, has figured out based on the letter that Gordon gave to him, that Jack the Ripper wrote, he figures out, oh shit, Leslie's next. Sister Leslie, the one that is the keeper of the orphans. And the orphans are important because when he beats the shit out of the dude that, like, makes them be street urchin kids.
The cock robbing dude.
Right, the cock robbing guy. When he beats the shit out of him, he's like, go on home. And he's like, we ain't got no mom. We ain't. So he's like, fine, go to this place, ask for Sister Leslie, she'll take care of you. Like, she will make care of sure you're okay. Mm-hmm. And so he realizes, oh shit, and I guess Sister Leslie is beloved by everyone. Because she's even at, like, the town hall meeting, which is a big deal in Victorian era for a woman to be able to speak up at a town hall meeting.
Right, agreed.
Like that. So he realizes it's Sister Leslie. He freaks the fuck out and is like, I gotta get there now. He gives, like, the cab driver, which he's like, here's $100. That's a lot of fucking money. Like, in Victorian era, that's like, holy Jesus. You just run around with a couple $100 on you? God! So he, like, gives him money and he's like, don't wait. Keep the change. And he jumps the fence at I don't know if it's a church or
I feel like it is, right? 'Cause she's a
my
nun.
children's hall.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure, like,
orphanage.
combination.
Yeah.
But he jumps the fence, and he's trying to get in, because he's, like, trying to warn her. He's trying to keep her safe, and she's actually already been murdered in the graveyard. So he's crying, and he's devastated, and creepy old drunk woman who's drunk just sees him over the top of Sister Leslie's body.
Right. And also, Leslie had an awesome line before she got murdered, because she said, "I forgive you for this."
Yes. When she
her
like,
murderer.
Yeah, and I think she may have known who it was, because she said, "That's fine, I knew you were coming. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to..." She's basically like, "I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of what you really want from me, which is to beg and plead. Guess what? I've made my peace. I forgive you. Go ahead and do it."
That was pretty badass.
I know, that was pretty, like, deep right there when she did that. I was like, holy shit. Like, this lady who is, like, cares for everyone knows I'm about to fucking die. And you know what? Bring it on.
Well, I guess that's a nun's confidence for you.
I mean, if death is in your face like that, what really can you do other than say, all right.
Well,
I thought that was pretty. But yeah, that's where the evidence that you're talking from comes from too, because Bruce finds a piece of evidence that links back to the gentleman's club, or the all boys club, because gentleman's club is actually something different, but it's an all boys club. It's a men's only, like you're not allowed in
the
there.
Dionysus Club. Yeah.
Right. And
isn't that a Sherlock thing?
It is. There's actually several Sherlock references in this movie.
I thought there was.
Yeah, so the Dionysus Club, and then I'll reference the other one later, because we're not there yet. That would give something away.
All right.
But yeah, so that's he found so if you're in a club like that, it's almost like being a Mason and you get that big giant ring. Like, you only get that if you were in that club. Like, there's no other way to get it. So it's clear that he found this, and Alfred even says, "Well, Master Bruce, do you think you dropped yours because you're part of the Dionysus Club?" And he's like, "No, this has blood spatter on it, and she died before I found her. Like, she was dead before I found her. Mine, if I dropped it, wouldn't have blood spatter on it." So, and that's where we were, because you were like, "Oh," then that he comes in and they take him away as he's like,
he
in
goes
his hotel room. Like, they're taking him off now.
He goes to, what do they call it? Jail? Is it? I mean, it's not Arkham, is it? Oh, it is.
No, it's not Arkham. It's
Bellevue? No.
No, it's something with a B. I'll see if I can find that while.
Anyway, he gets locked up, and then,
they kind of insinuate.
Blackgate.
Blackgate, there you go.
Yeah.
And they also kind of insinuate that while he's in there, like, we're not going to help you. You may get the shit beat out of you.
Yeah. And she, like, Selena shows up there, and she wants him to, like, out himself or get out, because she knows.
She's essentially saying, like, I know you're Batman.
She knows he's Batman.
And if you tell everybody you're Batman, then they'll know you didn't do this. They'll know you're not Jack the Ripper. And
she wants him to, obviously continue to try to save the girls, because if he's in jail, then there really is no chance to catch the killer, because the cops aren't doing anything.
Right, and she can't do it by herself.
Right.
She said, like, I can't do this. I can't. Like,
but she wants to tell Gordon, she wants to, I guess, plead for his help at that point.
Right. Which that's when, after she leaves and they come and get Bruce, she's left Bruce and she's on her way to Gordon. And Bruce starts putting some things together. And they come get him, and they're like, chow time, which is like, you're fixing to get the sheep bit of you time. It's not actually dinner time. Mm-hmm. It's time for everybody to take turns beating up on the new prisoners. But he jots down on a note, and he hands it to the guy, and he's like, if you take this to my man, which is what you used to call, like, He only calls him
Valet.
servant, like the valet. But if you'll take this to my man, he'll give you $100 when you get there. And he's like, do you think I can be bribed? The guard's like, you really think I can be bribed that easily? And he's like, if you will take this to my man, he'll give you $200 upon arrival.
Mm-hmm.
And he opens and Bruce goes off and does what he's supposed to do as a prisoner. It's like a model prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy opens the paper because he's like, what the fuck am I delivering? And it's the Dancing Man code, which is also from Sherlock Holmes and the Adventures of the Dancing Men.
Oh,
So
cool.
the Dancing Men is a coded message.
To mean what?
Well, it's a lot of things compiled. Because honestly, when I was looking at it, I was like, two lines of Dancing Man? How does everything he just sent to Alfred come out 2 lines?
Right?
There should be so much more on this paper. But it's essentially a code to let him know, like, I figured it out. I need your help. And if you remember, at one point, Alfred tells the street urchin kids, I need work from time to time. He runs across them kind of like on his own accord, I think, right?
I think so.
I don't remember how Alfred runs into them, but he essentially tells them, like, you know what? I have work from time to time. Why don't you meet me here? So essentially, Bruce is telling him, round up the posse, get everything together. I figured this the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
We got to take down Jack. Like, bam. That's how this got to work.
It was like, the message said, get my steampunk motorcycle ready,
right.
Alfred.
Non-existent. Don't know. Everybody's going to freak the fuck out when they hear me coming down the street because these things don't exist.
Well, he does have the best toys,
And I don't know. I missed somewhere, like, how did he actually get out of jail? Like,
he started that prison
right, he started
riot.
the fight. Does he just kind of literally walk out?
Yeah, he beats up one of the guards and takes his uniform, and then just kind of sneaks out that way.
I saw the whole beat up thing, and I was like, did he literally just like walk out? Like, did I miss something?
He just calls to distraction, basically, and then change clothes.
Batman fashion.
Yep.
So now we should be at Selena having the conversation with Gordon.
Yeah, and so they're at the World's Fair, which is
Gotham's World Fair. So it's very similar to Chicago's first World Fair. Big Ferris wheel, and that was part of the town hall meeting at the beginning. Is Bruce Wayne has given all this money because, and honestly, remember how we've had the talks before about Gotham is dark and dank and dirty and corrupt, and then you have over here Metropolis, and it's like clean and pretty, and like it's almost like you got a glimpse of what Gotham could be if they were more like Metropolis in that World's Fair setting. So,
and also it was sort of a nod to the book too, because that second story, the World's Fair, is a big part of that second story. And then like that, what do they call it? They don't call it a blimp, but they call it a.
No, and it's another very steampunk thing. It's
air.
Hang on.
Good Lord. My brain just.
It's an airship.
Airship. Duh. Good God. Anyway.
I thought it was, no, for some reason I thought it was something. A dirigible. Sometimes it's Zeppelin, dirigible, blimp, airship. Yeah. Like, it's got a shit ton of names.
Yeah. They call it an airship. And then that.
Yeah, that's the airship.
The big bad fight in the book happens in the airship.
Okay.
So that was sort of a thing. But so when Selena is talking to Gordon, that's when the big reveal happens that Gordon is Jack the Ripper.
Right, because she says something, and I wish I'd written down exactly what she said, but she says something to him, and he starts saying, essentially, like, you're really smart, kind of like, dang, you figured it out. Mm-hmm. But while that's happening, though, at the same time, like, parallel to each other, because they flash to it, Batman has gone to Gordon's home again, and he comes in and course, his wife is there, and he's like, where is Gordon? I really got to talk to him.
Mm-hmm. And then he goes up to his room, and the
Right.
wife...
And she keeps yelling at him, like, you can't go in there, you can't go in there. Which
then,
I still don't think Batman had figured it out just yet.
I don't think so either.
I think he kind of, like, suspected. Honestly, I think he thought it was Harvey at that point.
Well, I kind of did too, but...
I did too until a certain point.
Right.
Because we know Harvey to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hate to say that, but we know that he's bad. So...
I think that's what I'm saying, like, it was kind of obvious, but not that obvious.
When I thought about it after the fact, I was like, they gave you all the indications that that's who was Jack.
Right.
But, so yeah, he burst into the room there. She's kind of following, still saying, you can't go in there. And I thought she was shocked at what she was seeing.
Yeah, her reaction was very, like, creepy.
Okay, I was wondering if that was the same thing, because at first I thought she also was like, oh, what the fuck.
Right.
Because there's, like, body parts in jars, which is not unheard of. Like, doctors would put body parts in jars in formaldehyde and stuff so they could, study them and such. But for Gordon to have...
And then it showed him, like, in a butcher's outfit, like, from the Civil War, I guess.
The doctor in a
yeah.
Like, he was some sort of doctor's apprentice or doctor helper or something. Which, if you remember from the Jack the Ripper show that I watched that we talked pretty heavily about because she thought what's her name was really pretty.
Yeah, I remember.
That was insinuated several times. The guy that they believe wholeheartedly still probably could be Jack the Ripper, he was a doctor's apprentice. So it kind of was a nod to that, I felt like, too.
Okay. So the wife, Barbara, her name is,
right.
She says something to the effect of, like, he's so different when he's here with us, and he has to burn the sin out of us, and then, like, she kind of, like, pulls her hair back, and it looks like her, like, part of her
I don't think
face.
it was so much that she pulled her hair back. I think that she finally just stepped into the light, because if you notice, anytime we've seen her before, the room's been sort of dark.
Maybe that was it. But, so, apparently she had bought into this idea that she had this, evil in her, some sort of sin that needed to be burned out of her, because she had, like, old kind of burn scars on her face.
Yes. Do you remember the comment that Gordon makes about wives? He says something like, wives are the worst. They're the purest of evil, or biggest of whores, or something like that.
Yeah,
holy shit.
He says they give it away too easily.
And I was like, she's your fucking wife. She's not giving anything away. She's your wife.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah, he says a lot of disturbing shit.
A lot.
With that final... I wish I had written down some of that shit he said, but I was kind of floored because I felt like it got super dark. Like, I know we had seen, like, murder, but I don't know. It just did this weird, like...
It also
he sounded like a religious zealot or something at the end there.
Well, because a lot of people think that Jack the Ripper, based on letters and stuff that he would send, he would say some pretty weird things like that.
Just because of, like, the victims he chose were all women, and they were
pretty much the majority of the time they were prostitutes.
So it was sort of like moral killings based on how he saw them and how they lived.
He thought he was curing the world of I think the word cancer was used at one point. I don't know about in this movie, but in general, I think at one point he was ridding the world of a cancer. I don't know. It's almost kind of like we talked about Thanos earlier. Like, he thought he was in some fucked up way, doing something that should be done. I don't know.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Very disturbing.
Right. Extremely disturbing. But, he seemed to take a lot of enjoyment out of it, as opposed to the Thanos theory.
Right.
So they have this big showdown, which we haven't talked much about the fights. in the movie. Like you said, Selena has a good one in the beginning. Although she gets lined fairly easily in the final fight, I think, until the end.
She does.
So,
well, because she's been drugged. I mean, he drugged her because he was trying to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been drugged and can't really do much. And she actually makes a comment like that. She's like, well, I was kind of in drugs, so I was... Essentially, she's like, well, sir... Like, she's flirting at the same time, but she's like, I was drugged, so my decisions were... I don't remember what she says, but she says something along the lines of, my decisions weren't very great because I was kind of under the influence of drugs.
Right. And that fight goes all over. It goes, like, on top of the airship on the side there. They end up on the rooftop. I'm trying to think of all the locations, but it's pretty expansive fight scene there at the end. And I'm trying to remember, does he ever know that it's Bruce?
Yeah, he tells him.
Yeah, okay. I thought so.
Yeah, he knows. Like, he says, look at all your money and work gone to ruin, Brucey boy, or something like that. Yeah. Like, he's basically saying, hey, I know that I know who's in there. Like, I know it's you, so.
What did you, so at the end, the Zeppelin or whatever's on fire, and
it sets the Ferris wheel on fire. They're
they end up back at the World's Fair
fighting each other, which is why he talks about, look at what your money, it's ruining because Bruce had spent all the money for that to happen. I kind of liked. I hate that it ruined it, but I don't think that Gotham is supposed to be this wonderful, beautiful place.
No, definitely not.
Metropolis is. And this goes back to things we've talked about multiple times before. So I don't think it's supposed to be there. So I kind of like that that's where the final battle, so to speak, took place, because that's not Gotham isn't supposed to have that. Like, as weird as that sounds.
No, I agree with that. Gotham can't have nice things.
Right. Have you ever seen the meme where it's like, this is why we can't have nice things?
That's it.
That's Gotham. Like, you're not meant to have nice things, Gotham.
Nope.
Like, I don't want to come swimming in your public pool. I do not want to come to the zoo at Gotham.
No.
I do not want to go get ice cream in Gotham. Like, I'm just saying, it's not what I think of. No.
So, Bruce, handcuffs him to, this railing. And
well, he handcuffed him first because he makes the joke. He says, "I paid Houdini $300
for that trick." Yeah, that was a pretty good line.
And I was like, again with the 300. Like, what the crap? Do you just randomly carry money around with you? It bothered me so bad, but I was like, dear God.
So when he sees that it's over with, there are flames everywhere. He just, like a fucking crazy badass, just backs up into the flames.
Because he's telling, he's like, it's done, it's over, it's time for you to go.
Yeah, and he's just like, nope, I'm fixing to burn to death instead. That was crazy. That was fucking crazy, man.
Which, I mean, you're supposed to be the police commissioner, and you are Jack the Ripper. You've been abusing your wife for God knows how long. And she keeps saying the kids, but they never show. The only kids they ever show are the little street urchins.
Yep.
So it's like something weird going on there with Commissioner Gordon kids because they're like, are they even real? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially
I was fucked up.
Doing the us thing. I was like, oh dear God. What's real to her?
Yeah, she was messed up.
Anybody that ever watched Beauty and the Beast and screams Stockholm Syndrome to me, I'm going to be like, no, watch this movie. And then we'll talk. But,
Oh, something else I wanted to mention that I really enjoyed was the music.
I really did too. That song?
Well.
In particularly, I really liked that song.
You did?
As cheesy as it was, I really liked it.
I'll see if I can find it. put it in front
It's
of
actually one of the
Wild
things I
Women?
read. Yeah, but it's spelled. So apparently in the closing credits, it's not spelled women like WOMEN, which is obviously the correct spelling. It's WIMMEN. You can't tame a wild woman.
Huh. Okay.
And I don't know the reasoning for that. Like, I never found the reasoning for that, but it's spelled very weirdly.
Maybe I can find it somewhere. But yeah, I liked a lot of the music was very atmospheric. Like it really did fit every scene, and
I think it also fit with the period they were trying to convey.
that's what I was going to say. Like it had a richness to it that kind of fit with that Victorian,
adding that extra depth and layer to the story.
Definitely did. So I think that's pretty much all of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of ends with Selena and Bruce kind of riding off into the sunset with the blaze behind them with the three kids. And Bruce looks at Alfred and says, these belong to you. And he goes, nope, they belong to you. It's in the next chapter, which here's Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
there's three Robins. Right,
you got your three Robins. And, kind of a nod to the Selena and Batman in the current are, getting married. They're kind of, she kind of smiles at him when she realized what Alfred meant, and they just kind of ride off all together. Alfred, the three Robins, and Selena and Batman.
Sort of odd to see, I'm not going to call it happy, but relatively happy ending.
Yeah.
I liked it, though.
I did. I watched it twice.
Yeah. I probably will, too, because I just rented it, so.
Well, I got lucky, and a few weeks ago, we exchanged our books at the library before we left for D.C., so we would have something different to take with us. And it was at the library. Like, my library had it. I was like, what?
Awesome. I, just in case anybody's interested, I rented mine on Amazon Prime for
that's how I watched
$5.99.
Yeah.
I think. And you get it for 30 days. Part of me just almost bought, like, the digital copy, and then I didn't.
I think I'd rather have it on, like, DVD.
Yeah. I've been thinking about just going digital from now on as far as movies go. So.
It would be less clutter in my home.
Definitely.
I did totally buy the Batman Ninja one. It'll be here, like, Tuesday.
Sweet. Well, I really do like talking about these DC animated movies.
I do too. I kind of want to know if there's any other of the Elseworld that have been turned into movies.
I don't think so.
Or is this the only one?
I think so far.
Okay.
But I know that there was a Batman and Harley Quinn movie that came out recently.
Yeah, I had ordered that one, and then for some reason Amazon canceled my order and was like, we're really sorry. I don't remember the reasoning. And then Russell told me, don't worry, save your money. And I got busy and was like, no, I still want to watch this. So I do still want to watch that.
Yeah, that's definitely one. And I know we have intended on watching Justice League Dark, that movie, for a bit. We haven't yet. So, just a couple of ideas on things that we could possibly do in the future.
I always like, if people, I'm still really waiting because we've gotten a couple ideas before and we've done them. Mm-hmm. I would really like to hear what other people want us to talk about,
I agree. If you have any ideas for the show, anything you want us to talk about, we're open to suggestions, right?
Yeah.
As long as somebody gets naked in it, and says fuck a couple times. Right? Or sluts or whores.
So I'm okay with all that. I'm saying, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that's a requirement.
It doesn't have to, but if it has it, don't think oh, well, Jenny Miranda won't read this because it says...
Nobody's going to think that about it.
Fuck all y'all or something. No,
I'm saying that those are all pluses in content. Right?
Did you go buy the book that Tim and I bought?
No, I haven't bought it yet.
Oh my god.
But that is another idea.
That is, yes, that has happened.
Okay.
I've only read like 5 pages and I'm like dying. Like, I just, yeah.
Yeah, I need to get that link from you again.
I will definitely send you that.
All right, so I think that means that we are at everybody's favorite segment. What's it called, Miranda?
I can't seem to remember. I think it's been referred to once before as Nerd Eye Candy of the Moment.
Very nice. All right. So we've talked a lot about Infinity War, and there's
that had all kinds of hotness up in it.
No shortage of eye candy, but the OG eye candy of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is one Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man.
I need to drink.
Himself.
I need to be bathed in whatever that man is bathing in. Because, like, seriously, how does he still look that amazing?
Robert Downey Jr. could bathe me in whatever the fuck he wanted to bathe.
No, I mean, well, that too. But I'm just saying, like, overall, like, did he go drink from the Fountain of Youth with Sir Patrick Stewart? Like, what the fuck does he rub on his skin? Because I need it. Like,
he is gifted from above. That's what I'm going to say. It's divine because
if it's not divinity, it's from somewhere else. So either way, it's working.
It is totally working. There's not much that I'm going to be able to say that most people don't already know and agree with, because he's just magical. He's just a joy to watch. Like,
it's going to be a sad day when he is no longer Iron Man.
I just don't...
Which eventually will happen, because,
But
he can't be Iron Man forever. Like, that's not how this works.
I have serious denial when it comes to this. Like, Nick saw the movie before we did, and he was like, do you want to take guesses about who's going to die? So everybody was guessing. And then I messaged him, and I was like, just tell me, does Tony die? And he said no, and I was like, thank God, because I was not going to be ready for that at all.
So I think if he ever decides he's done, I need him to go out in a blaze of glory similar to Old Man Logan. Like, I need that kind of blaze of glory for him to go out in. I don't know if all the drugs have, like, kept him young. I don't know. Like, I don't have any intent on doing the amount of drugs that this man has done in the past, but, like, Jesus.
Well, usually drugs would have the opposite effect, but maybe getting his life in
if
order
your
after
are
drugs.
Petrified, though, from using them.
But maybe it's just part of his turnaround, like getting healthy post, drug problems. Maybe played a role in that.
It's true.
But, I just feel like he's so much better. He could do so much, even in the just, cameo roles in movies going forward. They don't have to kill him. They don't have to kill him off. They could just put him, in little things in the rest of the movies. Even if he doesn't have his own movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just saying it would be a terrible move for him to totally get out of.
Well, at some point he's going to.
I know. I can't.
You can only do Iron Man for so long.
I can't, though. Seriously, I can't even talk about it. It hurts my
I don't even know what's going to happen. Because, Chris Evans has already said, he's going to be done.
I feel like he's probably going to die in part 2.
Well, I don't know that they'll necessarily kill him, but he's saying he's going to be done. And I'm, not sure how I feel about that. What I do know is there was a movie promo that he came out in, a couple days before the movie released. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck all that is on his face. But I need it to go away.
You don't like his beard?
No. The one in the movie was different than him he came out in the promo and it was full, I didn't like it.
Really?
In the movie, do you know every time he looked a certain way who I thought he was?
Who?
John.
He doesn't even have a beard anymore.
Facial things that he would do when, John has his facial hair that I was like, oh my God. Chris Evans and John kind of look alike.
I will let him know you said
It's okay.
that.
Apparently, I'm married to Ashton Kutcher, so you're apparently married to Chris Evans. Okay.
Okay. So who is your nerd eye candy?
My nerd eye candy is going to the great police officers in the Washington D.C. area. You be working them uniforms really well.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me feel good at night to know that you are protecting my capital and making sure that those trying to run my country, whether doing it well or not, are safe. And you're really hot while doing it.
I love it.
Like, there was one, so we asked them, because we were going to get, like, the boys to take a picture with them, and we asked them, like, can we take a picture? And the one guy was like, so we can't pose for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay, I got you. Caden's like, so I can't take a picture with him? I'm like, Caden, you stayed right there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, and Caden kept, like, going, what, Mama? I was like, stay right there! So it's like, and then there was one that was up on the very top of the steps of the Capitol because we met Senator Shelby out. Like, the kids got to talk to Senator Shelby, which was kind of cool because we're all from Alabama, so it was kind of cool that he took the time to come down there and talk to all the kids. But like at the very top steps of the Capitol, there's like all these armed guards, and I mean like heavily armed guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so the one, realizing that people were taking pictures of him and not the kids, and so he like struck a pose.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what it was, but like he had like tattoos all down his arms.
Hot.
Something about that giant gun in front of him, striking a pose. I was like,
nice.
This be nice.
Send me that picture, will you?
Yeah.
For my work
I gotta
folder.
find that one. Then you gotta send it to Tim too, because if we were sharing pictures for work folder, then
yeah, I will. Don't worry. All right, so I am at Jenny Cruz 2814 on Twitter, and
Instagram, right? Didn't you change it?
I think it's just Jenny.2814 on Instagram.
Gotcha.
Which is just really pictures of like my cat and my son and food. So,
I have a lot of memes, pictures of my kid. There's some food. I don't know what else I have.
Comic books, usually.
I do have a lot of comic book related stuff.
Selfies.
Selfies, essential oil related stuff. I don't know.
And then at Geek and Sassy on Twitter and Instagram and our Facebook page.
Yeah.
I didn't forget this time. And then you are at Mom's a Nerd on all of those things as well.
Well, my Instagram is a little bit different, but
that's right.
If they go to Geek and Sassy on Instagram, they can tap on either one of our, like if they really want to follow us individually, they can tap on our names right there in our bio.
And like we mentioned, check out the newest episode of Talkin' Pop, and check out the spoiler-filled review of Infinity War on the Pop feed as well. And then, of course, the Hard Traveling Fanboys, Seller's Point, Sunday Groove, and on the wrestling side, Survey Says. You always got to plug them, and I might actually show up on that show at one point as well. So, you never know. Listen to Comic Book Theater, please. I know we already talked about it, but just please do it. It's
so much work
super
and
funny.
Creative juice and flow and
all
love went
kinds of
into
juices
this.
All over that thing.
Well, yeah. But so much went into this. Like, I don't know. I know people are like, man, they're really vain because they're in it. But it's not just us. Like,
oh, I'm the least part of that shit.
Right. Like,
don't listen to it for me.
No. Like, I think what I'm really trying to get across is our friends are so super creative. Like, this was written, produced, like, the whole 9 yards, all the crazy voices. They're just phenomenal people.
Agreed.
And I don't know. It's just fantastic listening.
We love you, boys. All right. That is it for this show, and we will hopefully see you before the end of the month, but maybe not.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
We'll see how drunk we get at your going away party before we leave.
Oh, Lord. We will have stories of my going away party on the next Geek and Sassy.
I might even post things on Instagram.
What? Die.
Bye.
Bruce, I'm in love.
Well, that's great news, Harvey. I'm sure your wife will be glad to hear it.
Oh, please, Bruce, this is the 19th century. Don't be such a dinosaur. Marriage is more like a business arrangement. Besides, what Gilda doesn't know won't hurt her. Selena's the most amazing gal, Bruce. You'll see.
I think I already do.
Just make yourselves at home, gentlemen. I'll make myself decent.
I certainly hope not.
Did you enjoy my performance, Mr. Wayne?
Bruce. And I'm told you also gave quite an impassioned performance at the World's Fair preview.
I'm passionate in everything I do, Bruce. And Boss Tolliver needed to get the message.
Come on, my pet. Let's see if we can't make our way to a more comfortable establishment before Gordon's killjoy curfew takes effect.
Listen carefully, kitten. I'm many things, but I'm nobody's pet. And you can't doubt for 1 minute that if men were being slaughtered, Tolliver would hire an army of policemen to find this ripper.
But I don't agree. If it were affluent women, society ladies, the outcry might be deafening. Jack targets destitute women. When the voiceless cry out, no one hears.
I think you're ignoring the real tragedy here. Every establishment in town is closing down.
What a shame. I was starting to suspect there was more to your friend than a good family name and prep school manners.
Well, there's the Wayne fortune. But I'm sure you didn't forget that, did you, Selena?
Steady, old man. You'll have to excuse Harvey.
Oh, I know. When he drinks, he's an entirely different person. A regular Jekyll and Hyde.
This is my club. We can catch a hansom here. I'd invite you in for a drink, but unfortunately, men only.
At least we still have something.
I didn't take you for an anti-suffragist.